As we get set here for our regular opening, we just got breaking news that one of the greatest basketball players in NBA history, Kobe Bryant, has died in a tragic helicopter crash. And we just wanted to send our condolences to the family of Kobe Bryant. Once again, Kobe Bryant has died in a tragic helicopter crash. We'll be right back with the starting lineups here from Menor Ice Arena. From the corner of Munson and Civic Center Boulevard, welcome Fanatics to Menor Ice Arena for game number 34 of your Menor Icebreakers season. Today, the Icebreakers hosted the Carolina Thunderbirds. I'm Angelo Vallada, and thank you for listening right here on YouTube.com, your home and away home for all Menor Icebreakers games. And before we catch you up to speed on what has been a truly tumultuous series between these two over the weekend, Jared's going to start us off with that lineup for the Thunderbirds tonight.
Don't have positions specifically listed for the Thunderbirds. I'm going to go ahead and guess here. Left defenseman Jan Krivolovic, and on the right side, the coach penning himself into the starting lineup, Andre Nitsch. Left wing Peter Panachik, right wing Stanislav Vlasov, and I had that backwards. It's Panachik, Vlasov, and Viktor Grebennikov. Hold on, I'm all over the place. Not a great start to the broadcast today. I believe Vlasov and Grebennikov are the defensemen. Krivolovic, Nitsch, and Panachek are the forwards, and Patrick Polivka is in net for the Thunderbirds tonight.
All right, and the starting lineup for the Menor Icebreakers, it's going to be at left wing, the return of Stephen Fowler. Right wing, the Painesville, Ohio native, Declan Conway. Centering that line is Tim Perks. Left defenseman will be Joe Keenan. Right defenseman, the Czech Republic native, Yuri Pastuka. And in goal tonight, the Onway, Alberta, Canada native, Jordan Brandt here on this Sunday Fun Day. Great activity and families here at Menor Ice Arena. Good turnout of Fanatics and specials with Sam at the concession stand here. All one of our great promotions, but a lot to catch you up on. Well, the score was 4-1 in favor of the Thunderbirds Friday. On Saturday, it was 7-2 Thunderbirds as well. If they win today, they would get the series sweep, as this is the last matchup between these two teams this season. And the Thunderbirds all-time 16-2 against Menor. But here's the big thing. Coming out of Friday's game, it's Everett Thompson with a 5-game suspension and Jay Kenny with a 1-game suspension, or 2-game, excuse me. Henry Berger got a 1-game suspension, and he will be back today. But from last night's fiasco in the final seconds of the third period, Brody Duncan earned a 15-game suspension for the Icebreakers. Michael Bunn, 5 games for Carolina. Connor Haas and Jan Salak, each with 1 game, and Blake Nadel with 1 game. So, Jared, my question for you is, did you bring spinach, artichoke, and cream cheese? Possibly, because this thing could get chippy, and I want you to have some dip on hand.
You know, not today. I should have gotten on that before the game, but hopefully, for the sake of both teams, we can keep this game relatively under control. And I know the officials today are going to be all over every little thing and just trying to keep the game under control after last night.
I hope they do. I was talking also, Drew Blevins, broadcaster here for the Thunderbirds, alongside us at the Breakers broadcast booth, providing the stream for the local radio station there. And we said, hopefully, these two teams can just get out of this one. Neither team in position to lose anyone due to injury or suspension. Finish up the season series and part ways. Now, obviously a lot of tension's boiling over, but hopefully that was the peak of it. And you got to think, teams are tired. Both teams having to make that travel from Winston-Salem last night. So this is either the perfect storm for everyone to just put everything behind them or hopefully not boil over any further. We'll have it here on the Menor Icebreakers YouTube channel for you. And we're wishing for that clean game. And this Sunday fun day, good amount of family is here today. Fanatics came out bringing their families, and we'll see. It's been Carolina, though, any way you slice it, whether the games have been physical or not. So far, Carolina is 5-0, 1-0 in coming into this one, and they have dropped 16 straight to the defending Commissioner's Cup champions, the Carolina Thunderbirds. Jared, you have to think Coach Ian Duncan's squad needs to really focus in here and rebound from this weekend on the road and maybe put forth a new foot forward today.
Yeah, obviously last night just a tough way to end what was really a pretty good weekend of hockey between the Icebreakers and Thunderbirds. So hopefully, like we said earlier, just you want to keep these things under control. I'm sure both coaches are aware of that. They don't want to lose any more players to injury, suspension, or anything like that.
It all went down in the final moments of the third period as we get set here for the teams to take to the ice on Sunday Fun Day here at Menor Ice Arena. And we'll also get set. We'll step away when the player introductions begin. And the national anthem today is from Menor High School's Top 25 Show Choir. They do a tremendous job. Got all of them packed in there in the box down there at center ice. Slams down there, getting ready to lead on the Fanatics as well. So the Thunderbirds, and this kind of got lost in the game, much like when Myles Garrett took off his helmet at the end of the game of the Browns Steelers on that Thursday night mid-NFL season. A lot got lost from the actual game. Menor played good for the first two periods, Jared, but it was the third period before that got away with them, and Carolina added 3 goals in that period.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting that you brought up the Myles Garrett situation because that was kind of the first thing that came to mind. Just, both of us being Browns fans kind of went through something like this earlier in the season just for football. It's just really a tough way for that game to end, and I'm sure those suspensions are going to be well-earned.
We'll see what happens here today. They played those 2 games at the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Annex with a capacity just over 3,000. And the Thunderbirds debuted back in 2017, Commissioner's Cup champions last year in 2018. And now the Icebreakers in their second season as we get set here for the opening puck drop and the teams to take to the ice. Thanks again for joining us on this Sunday afternoon. As obviously, once again, reminder the tragic news that NBA legend Kobe Bryant crashed and lost his life in a helicopter crash this afternoon. And Jared, I think you're old enough to have seen some of the clinics Kobe Bryant put on the hardwood.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where I'm still kind of trying to process it. We just found out in the last 10, 15 minutes or so, and it's just really hard news to hear.
It is very hard news to hear. He was a tremendous player for the Los Angeles Lakers, great champion, and was very active and still commentating and analyzing the game just even as of recently. So it's very hard to believe. I know I just recently saw his take on a few of the teams in the NBA, but now the players are set to take to the ice. We're going to step away. We'll bring it back for the national anthem. Once again, our condolences with the family of Kobe Bryant. When we come back, we'll have the opening puck drop and the national anthem here at Menor Ice Arena.
Rise and join the players, coaches, and staff in removing your caps as the Mentor High School Top 25 Show Choir honors the United States of America, those who are serving and those who have served, with the singing of our national anthem.
Welcome back here to Menor Ice Arena as we get set for opening puck drop here. A great rendition by the Menor High School national anthem there from the Menor High School Top 25 Show Choir as we get set for the opening puck drop. And thanks for joining us again. We hope for a good, clean game. Save the Royal Rumble for pay-per-view later. And just get back to some good hockey, which there was parts of that this past weekend. Carolina looking for the season series sweep. And the Icebreakers looking to get a win here as they are struggling a little bit in the Eastern Division at 14-17, 0-2, looking to rebound in a tightening Eastern Division. Elmira Enforcers have been on a better roll. Of course, the Danbury Hat-Tricks in first place, and the Watertown Wolves now currently tied with the Enforcers. Delaware Thunder can't count them out, 20 points behind the Icebreakers, but still with a 4-game-in-a-row stretch coming up in just about a month or so between the two teams. Actually, that will be a 4 games in a row with 1 at home and 3 on the road in the first and second week of March. So we'll see where the teams are at that point. But we get set now. The Thunderbirds will go left to right. They're in their white road jerseys with red and black trim, red numbers, and stripes down the center. The Menor Icebreakers in their home, double blue jerseys, dark blue jerseys with blue and white trim, white numbers, will move right to left. 20 minutes have been put up on the clock as we get set for the last 2 times. These teams will battle, and it was a 7-2 once again last night. Thunderbirds win 4-1 on Friday night. Carolina 5-0-1 on the year versus Menor, and 16-2 all time. One of the biggest wins Menor's ever had against the Thunderbirds was actually their second franchise win on Thanksgiving Eve last year. We'll see if they can get some magic to end the weekend on this Sunday fun day at Menor Ice Arena. And the puck is dropped, and we are underway from Menor Ice Arena. And that is Grebenikov working it up on the near boards behind the net, and the Icebreakers will send it out to their outlet man, Stephen Fowler, now looking to get it out of that corner, and they will move the puck left to right across center ice. But it's Stanislav Vlasov retrieving the puck and getting chased all the way behind his own net by Fowler, who returns to the ice. Fowler pickpockets him from the circles, winds up, and goes just over the crossbar. What a move there defensively by Fowler.
Yeah, Stephen Fowler just picked his pocket right there. Would have been nice to get an early goal here on the first shift of the game, but Polivka stood tall and made the big save.
And Fowler got another shot where he slapped it over the top of the net again. So the Icebreakers with a couple of quick shots now in their own defensive zone. 19-11 left here in the first period of play from Menor Ice Arena as both teams on the change. And it's George Holt, who is back from suspension. He returned last night. He'll go after the puck, but the call will go icing against the Icebreakers. So we'll see if they can start off a bit better. As we talked about, no matter who they've played, Jared, one of the biggest things they have struggled with is when they don't score first, and especially against a team of this caliber.
Yeah, both those games in Carolina, the Thunderbirds struck first, and that's never good news for the Icebreakers. When the opponent scores first, they've only won 2 games on the year, dropped 14 of them.
Now it's Jordan Brandt in between the pipes for Menor tonight. He played just a bit on Friday before former Carolina Thunderbird Frank McClendon made his debut, played the rest of the weekend. And that trade with the Icebreakers, where the Icebreakers sent Chad Herron, who they got in the Columbus River Dragons trade, got McClendon here, and he became the 62nd Icebreaker to take to the ice. Not on the ice right now, as it is Jordan Brandt back out there. Picked up a win on Monday afternoon against the Rumblebees. That was Menor's last win. 18-35 now, and the Icebreakers will send that puck flying into the Thunderbirds' defensive zone. Now Joe Cangelosi gets tangled up at center ice, and it's Alex Morrow feeding it forward to the Minsk Belarus native Dmitry Danilik, but Holt will chase it down in his own zone. Holt will send that pass right to left over to Martin. Daniel Martin, the Ottawa, Ontario native, now picks up speed, crosses into the neutral zone, dekes out his man, is able to get it up to Peter Panachik, and now can't get the shot off, though. Panachik will chase that puck down, get it left side blue line to Vlasov. Vlasov goes wide right. Now Bakor trying to work that up to his teammate. Can't do so. As Thomas Stewart-Dant wraps him up, and it'll be Stepan Jurovic who comes away with it, bounces it off the boards into the neutral zone, and now cycling back into their own zone are the Thunderbirds. 17:44 remaining in a scoreless first period. That one goes nearly out of play. Once again, Thunderbirds head coach Andre Nitsch, who was part of that starting line, and the starting line is brought to you by Ganley Village Automotive, providing everything from financing to auto service and parts. Their dealership experience you've been waiting for on this Sunday fun day. Now boarding up on the far boards, Jan Krivolovic, one of the 8 Czech Republic natives. Declan Conway beats his man, gets it to the slot, works it over to Fowler. Fowler's had a good offensive start so far, but can't get the shot off, and they will dump that one into the Icebreaker zone.
Yeah, Stephen Fowler really the only Icebreaker that's been able to produce offensively consistently against this Thunderbirds team. He's only played 4 games against them, but he's scoring at a point per game pace, a goal and 3 assists.
Panachik winds up, and it goes through the pads of Jordan Brandt, and Peter Panachik is on the board for Carolina, and the Thunderbirds score first at 16:56 remaining in the first period. The Czech Republic native puts his team out first, and he has been a huge part of their success.
Yeah, and that's an ugly goal for Jordan Brandt to give up. Looked like it was just a harmless shot from the point almost, and Brandt just let it trickle through his pads.
It was a hard shot from Panachik, but Brandt didn't get a good look at stopping it, and Carolina at 16:56 remaining. The early lead, and Jared, that's got, I know, plenty of hockey left, but not the way you'd want to start off if you're Jordan Brandt returning into the net and Icebreakers trying to rebound here on this weekend series.
Yeah, and the Icebreakers had 2 grade A scoring chances in the first 4 minutes of this game, and then really hurts to go down and give up a goal like that.
Whistle on the ice now. 14th goal for Peter Panachik, and want to thank our off-ice officials Scott Tennant, Greg Butala, Greg Kopp, Fred Hayer, Russ O'Ralla, Joe Knight, Brandon Cottis, and Daniel Savitz. Taylor Roonier on game day operations, Frank Schmidt, operations intern through Menor High School's business program, and now at the other end of the ice, we will have a face-off left circle. And that's Chance Taylor making his debut. He was just signed this morning. Local product from Kent State University.
Actually, he's from Arizona, but did play at Kent State. He was a teammate of John Butita.
And I hope he has that same tenacity of John Butita. Got called up to the SPHL franchise, the Quad City Storm, where he's had some early success there. One of 4 Icebreakers to be called up throughout their 2 years. 2 very quickly this season. And so we'll see Chance Taylor. Just signed this morning. Chad Herron was just signed this morning for the Thunderbirds. Andre Nitsch signed on to play. With all of the suspensions and everything going on, teams filling out their rosters, and now it is Andre Nitsch, the coach, going to the box.
Yeah, he tripped up Henry Berger, and that was like we said, the officials are going to be all over everything today. They don't want this game to devolve into what it was last night.
Any chance we top the penalty minutes from Danville Columbus on Friday night? Did you get a chance to see that captain's log of 240 minutes of penalties?
I did a little bit, actually, but I feel like, you'd think just because it can be a double minor to Niche, it looks like they have 4 minutes up on the board, but you'd think because of last night that this would be set up for an all-out brawl, but I think both these teams, the position that they're in right now with injuries and suspensions, just not positioned to be getting into those kind of extracurriculars and potentially risking more injuries and suspensions. So
the Icebreakers will have the Lake Health power play, and want to thank Chris Lewis, Rashawn Bailey, Cassie Mann, and Malia Harwood, as well as Lake Health for providing medical staff for tonight's game and throughout the season. As the officials sort this one out just a couple minutes into the game, want to thank the rest of our crew, Larry Rummel, Al Moon, and Lawrence Rummel on the sound crew. Jared Tennant's alongside me, color commentary and communications manager, and Casey Healy, intern through Auburn Career Center Interactive Multimedia Technology Program, on the camera, providing you here on the video stream. We thank you for joining us, whether you're listening in Winston-Salem, Mentor, Ohio, or anywhere in between or beyond. So the double minor going against Andre Nitsch.
Looks like they changed it up a little bit. It's going to be 2 minutes of 5-on-3, which hasn't really worked in the Icebreakers' favor, to say the least, over the last two games. They had multiple situations where they had lengthy 5-on-3s and they couldn't convert. Overall, the power play went 0 for 18 in those two games in Carolina. So big chance to redeem themselves here.
So Kelly Curl, who was also signed today, who normally has been at the post alongside Drew Blevins on the Carolina Thunderbirds broadcast, has done a nice job, signed today, and he was actually playing forward, which he has done with them. And Curl has played in games for Delaware and Port Huron this year, been on the Carolina broadcast, Icebreakers trying to score their backside Declan Conway, and now the Thunderbirds goalie is down.
That's Patrick Polivka. He was looking to make a save there, and he kind of landed awkwardly as Declan Conway had an open look at the net, but it looked like he just went wide, but hopefully Polivka's okay.
And hopefully Polivka's okay. The Lake Health Athletic trainers, it was the power play, but now they are busy. They're coming out to attend to him as he is still laying on his back on the ice, so hopefully Patrick Polivka's okay. 10-2 on the year, has been that main rock in between the pipes. Jacob Mullen's done very well for them after coming over from Battle Creek. Kelly Curl's played one game. We're talking about Kelly Curl, though. He's suited up for the Thunderbirds, the Thunder, and the Prowlers. He also played for Mentor in Carolina, one game with the Icebreakers last year down there in Winston-Salem, and now he finds himself in the penalty box alongside his head coach, Andre Nitsch, who both signed on to play today. So there's all kinds of very unique or bizarre storylines coming into this game.
So and it might not looking too good for Patrick Polivka. He's still laying down on his back, not able to get up yet.
And a scoring correction made. It is not going to be Peter Panachik on the score, but a different Czech Republic native, Jan Krivolovic, with the goal. And he will pick up his 14th on the season and 33rd point. And good news to see Patrick Polivka back up. And he is walking off with the help of teammate as well as the Lake Health Athletic trainers. So able to at least get off of the ice in a standing position. I believe that's George Holt helping him out. So we'll see who takes to the pipes now. And it's going to be number 30 for the Thunderbirds. Jacob Mullen. Didn't see him this Monday against Battle Creek because he had been traded over previously from the Rumblebees. And Jacob Mullen, his record is very deceiving. 3-15, 5.63 goals allowed, and an .881 save percentage. But he has been lights out since joining the Thunderbirds. And you got to think a big part of that time in Battle Creek was facing off 60, 70-plus shots per game.
Man, when you have a little bit of a better defense in front of you here in Carolina, it kind of does wonders. You saw he had back-to-back shutouts, had one over the Icebreakers, of course had that shutout streak snapped last night by the Icebreakers.
So a minute 10 left in the double penalty, 15:24 on the clock. Yuri Peshtuka, former Thunderbird from the previous 5 seasons in, and Columbus River Dragon before this year's trade. Peshtuka's got it just inside the line. He's got Conway's circle. He feeds it over to Danik. Danik to Conway, and a good closeout by Mullen. A second good closeout by Mullen. Conway was hanging out there short side, but couldn't put either one in the back of the twine. Now it's Fowler winds up. The low save, and look at this. Look at this. Jacob Mullen just falls over on the puck. He wasn't in good position, so he extended the length of his body to make sure that one didn't get into that left corner.
And obviously that power play unit struggling so much, down to under 13% on the season after that poor showing in Carolina, but definitely some good things here. Just Mullen, Plevka before him, both coming up big so far early in this one.
We'll have a face-off here. Thomas Stewart, Dan, and Daniel, my favorite Martin, down there as they call him down in Carolina. Dimitri Daniel chips it forward to Stewart Dant, and now that one is going to draw a whistle at 14:53. That reference, I had saw it on Carolina, was Chris Berman from NFL Primetime used to say it for Curtis, my favorite Martin, the former New York Jet. Good running back there, but we'll bring things back into the neutral zone, just inside the blue line, closer, Mullen and the Thunderbirds' nest.
We saw Alex Moore on that last play. He kind of dropped to the ice to avoid running into the goaltender. That's the last thing either of these teams want right now is another one of those melees to get sparked by a play like that.
Yeah, don't mess with the keepers. That's a quick way to aggravate everybody.
Yeah, less than a minute after the goaltender gets hurt, too. That would not have gone over well.
Pastuca from the circle was looking for the deflection, more right side, and only 17 seconds left here in the Lake Health power play. Thanks again for joining us here on YouTube.com. Pastuca winds up, and the breadbasket save made there by Jacob Mullen. We just finished talking to you about that, and Mullen closing in on 800 saves in his season. Again, spent most of his time with the expansion struggling Rumble Beast, where boy, oh boy, did Jacob Mullen get an on-ice education. And that is tough for any keeper having to face off 70-plus shots, which he did at least twice for the Rumblebees and several other times over 40, 50, and 60.
Yeah, and Mullen's final start with the Rumblebees against Carolina, he made 79 saves.
Which is just unreal.
Yeah, kind of hard to fathom, 79 saves in a 60-minute hockey game.
That's, yeah, more saves than per minute. 14:20 left, only 3 seconds left in the Lake Health power play. Don't forget, 7-game flex packages available, giving you ticket vouchers to use at any home game this season. For more information, call 440-290-8502 or visit the Menor Icebreakers website. And if you're looking for the ultimate experience, check out the Founders Room. Enjoy restaurant-quality food, as well as a chance to meet head coach Ian Duncan and players at every home game. Tickets start at just $30. Go to MenorIcebreakers.com. We'll have a face-off now, right circle. And that will be Peter Panachik and a jumpy Hatham Owaid. So he'll swap out. Owaid, one of the newer Icebreakers. Jackson Tucker, the Matthews, North Carolina native, takes it instead. Thunderbirds have it in their own zone, avoiding the forecheck here. And tangled up there with Tucker. Tucker pulls him down to the ice. That'll draw the whistle undoubtedly. And Hatham Owaid, we just got him playing a few weeks ago here in Double Blue. Played for the Port Huron Prowlers. His lone goal of the season was scored against the Icebreakers in this arena. I would like to have seen from Owaid on some good offensive efforts in the limited times we've seen him here so far.
I could definitely use some guys stepping up on offense right now. Could the Icebreakers, and Owaid's one of those guys who he's had some good chances since joining the team, just has not been able to bury one yet.
So as the 5-on-3 expires, the Icebreakers take a trip to the box. Jackson Tucker wrangling the Thunderbird to the ice. So Tucker will spend the next 2 minutes there. Holding, and that is the very exact appropriate call for that, as he took him down to the ice. So Jackson Tucker in the box, and now it's the Thunderbirds putting the Icebreakers on the penalty kill for the next minute 41. Vlasov winds up, tries to get the deflection shot there, right side. Good close out there by the Icebreakers defenseman Stepan Jurovic, who will now pick up the puck in transition. And nice job there to send it the length of the ice. 2 nice plays there on the defensive stance by Jurovic. So 13:25 now remaining here in the first period of play. It's the Thunderbirds 1-0 on the Jan Krivolovic score. Dimitri Danieluk along the near boards up to Alex Morrow, a bit ahead of him. And nice save there made by Jacob Mullen. So Jordan Brandt comes into today at 3-5 with a 3.22 goals allowed per game and a .905 save percentage. Frankie McClendon had come in 4-0 as a Thunderbird this year, 4-1 now. He had won 9 of his previous 10 starts while wearing a Carolina uniform. Kind of got thrown in there Friday night right into the mix of things. That trade happened on Wednesday afternoon, the 22nd. Osaka, who had a hat trick last night, sends that one wide right. Thunderbirds had a pair of hat tricks, one on Friday, one on Saturday. Ezri, of course, had a hat trick at home in the third period alone. picked up the lone goal for the Icebreakers Friday night, so 4 goals this week for Ezra. We'll see if he can continue to be an offensive surge, much like last year when he scored a 23-28-51 scoreline. That one deflects over the top of Brant.
And one thing to point about those hat tricks, that was the first time an opposing player scored a hat trick against the Icebreakers since March of last season. It was Tyler Prendergast with the Watertown Wolves here at Menor Ice Arena. So they went almost a full calendar year without giving up a hat trick.
And it wasn't in the Menor game, but did you see Fred Hine continue to roll for Danville, picking up 4 goals this weekend?
That's good to see. We're not the only team that he destroys every time he plays them.
Including a hat
he kind
trick.
of has their number as well.
So now it's Krivolovic dancing across the blue line. 5 seconds left in the penalty kill. 12:07 left here in the first period of play for Menor Ice Arena. And Jared, while a lot of things haven't gone necessarily the Icebreakers' way, I thought they did a pretty great job there on that particular penalty kill.
I mean, watching this game so far, obviously that 5-on-3 is a big part of it, but they're playing pretty well. They're getting some good chances, and really Mullen and Polivka earlier have been the difference so far.
Fans, next time you're here, remember to visit our mobile team shop next to the bleachers to get your official Icebreakers merchandise. Gear up for the season with the only source of official Icebreakers merchandise, and soon you'll be able to buy it online. And don't forget to check out the officially launched Booster Club. Visit the merch table next to me or visit MenorIcebreakers.com for more information. It looks like a Thunderbird is going to the box, and that will be Peter Panachik, the Czech Republic native, in the box for 2 minutes. So the team's trading off here on the power play advantage. It was a 5-on-3 for Menor. Then Carolina immediately had the 5-on-4 advantage. And now Menor back on the Lake Health power play. A big thank you to Lake Health for providing the Live Healthy Fitness Center, catty-cornered here to Menor Ice Arena. So 5-on-5 shots on goal are even up, and Alex Morrow will take the draw now. Going up against Andre Nitsch, the Thunderbirds coach.
2 minutes for cross-checking.
Cross-checking the call against Peter Panachik. Now behind the net, Morrow will swing that one to Danieluk, right side blue line. Ezri's hanging center. He's got Pashtuka left side. Gets it to Morrow. Morrow unable to get it off the edge of his stick. He had just Mullen to beat there, and a good job by the Thunderbirds to send it the length of the ice. 11:25 here in the first period of play.
Alex Morrow and Declan Conway as well. Both have had some really good scoring chances. I just feel like it's a matter of time for one of those two guys to finally break through.
Veteran Thomas Stewart-Dant, who had a bit of a point streak going before this weekend, trying to work at center now. He's got Ezri there, who takes the bow from George Holt. And the Thunderbirds clear it, center. Cangelosi finds his outlet man. Left side blue line, dump back to Cangelosi, who's always had a bit of success here against the Icebreakers. Did very well against Menor last year, but Brant will pick up the loose puck. Minute 4 now in the penalty kill. Icebreakers trying to avoid, in the Lake Health power play, trying to get something going. What was it, 13% you said on the Lake Health power play?
Yeah, a little bit under 13% now. Pretty ugly numbers in the man advantage for the Icebreakers over the last month or so.
Face off now. Take it down there in the left defensive circle in front of Brant.
It is worth mentioning the Icebreakers at one point had the best power play in the league through the first month or so of the season. Just losing personnel has really been the issue.
They also had a slew of shorthanded goals. And now here comes Daniel Martin across the blue line trying to beat his man, Alfonso Diaz, the Pembroke Pines, Florida native. Slam trying to get the Fanatics into it here. 40 seconds left in the Lake Health power play. Yeah, they lost John Butita to the call-up to the Quad City Storm. Parker Moskal went alongside Vaughn Clausen over to the River Dragons for Chad Herron and Yuri Pashtuka. And then it was Austin Rodebush on January 16th getting called up to the Roanoke Rail Yard Dogs.
Really impressive there on that last play by, I think that was Daniel Martin for the Thunderbirds, just able to get that shot off with Alfonso Diaz draped all over him.
Alfonso tried to close him out, but Martin still got the shot off, as Jared said. 10:28 as we make it halfway through the first period. The Thunderbirds with the 7-5 shot on goal advantage. When we return from the Labatt Blue first intermission, we will have the saves of the period brought to you by Vitamix Blenders, as well as take a look at the only other game in action, an Easter Division matchup between the Watertown Wolves and the Delaware Thunder. So we'll keep a close eye on that one. We appreciate you joining us here today. Lots of penalties had been the fallout from last night. Came right before puck drop. Brody Duncan out 15 games and Michael Bunn 5. A slew of 1. 2 Thunderbirds with 1-game suspensions, as well as Blake Nada with a 1-game suspension. That comes out of that. And there was the 3 suspensions out of Friday night. So a very physical and wild series it has been. Overall, things have been kept in tow so far. A few penalty advantages for both teams, but nothing out of the ordinary, which is good to see with everything that happened last night, and that's good to see. The late light goes off, and I believe Chance Taylor may have been involved in that scoring play, as we'll wait officially to see Declan Conway involved, but Chance Taylor may have picked up a point there as an icebreaker. I didn't get a great look at it. It was kind of closed out there. We'll check the official scoring confirmation, but that will come out on the Lake-held power play, something that has not happened in so long, Jared. Let's say it again. The icebreaker score on the Lake-held power play.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird feeling. It's been so long, it feels like. But I think that was Stephen Fowler once again, so he continues his hot little stretch against this Carolina team.
At 10 minutes even, Fowler's been off to a pretty red-hot start here in this game, supplying most of the offensive efforts. He had a few good shots on goal in the first minute or so.
His fifth of the season, scored by number 15, Stephen Fowler.
And it is the Oxford, Michigan native, Stephen Fowler.
Assisted by number 11, Chance Taylor, and number 22,
You know, if there is a game that, I don't know if vulnerable is the right word, but a game that icebreakers have to feel like they have a chance to win, it's tonight. This Thunderbirds team is super short-handed. They have Kelly Curl dressed as a skater. I don't know if he's ever done that professionally, but it's fun to watch. So
Yeah, I know he has practiced with the team as a forward. I don't know if he's ever taken the ice. So how about this, though, Jared? Declan Conway, the Painesville, Ohio native, and Chance Taylor, take a chance on Taylor. He scores his first point as an icebreaker. He just was signed this morning. And so two guys from Northeast Ohio, both Kent State University, alongside John Butita, Chance Taylor, and Declan Conway, who played at Lake Catholic High School right here at Menor Ice Arena, both get the double assist. And they feed it to the Oxford, Michigan native, Stephen Fowler, 1-1. So all guys from right here in this area on that scoring line. That's pretty cool to see. Chance Taylor, don't know too much about Chance as he was just signed this morning, but he gets an assist here today. That's a pretty good way to debut, though, picking up a point. And I know it's early, way too early to see about his future, but doesn't that kind of remind you of Stephen Fowler? Fowler came in right away and started picking up points mid-January last year.
yeah, I don't think Chance Taylor quite has the resume that Stephen Fowler had, having played professionally in Sweden before coming into the Icebreakers. Definitely a good way to start your career is getting an assist in the first period.
I hope he sticks around because you could have a lot of fun with a guy whose first name is Chance.
Yeah, played 5 seasons at Kent State. I think he was a teammate of John Butita's all 5 seasons. Finished his senior year, 21 points in 35 games, had 11 goals, 10 assists.
So it'll be a great thing to know is how good was that Kent State team, knowing they had Butita and, from the early looks of Chance Taylor, someone that could at least produce right away against a team like the Thunderbirds. I'm guessing that Kent State Golden Flashes team was pretty successful in the MAC. Of course, head coach Ian Duncan played for a different MAC school. The Bowling Green State University Falcons. Morrow couldn't keep up with that puck. He would have had a breakaway, but now it's the Thunderbirds on the counter. They cross blue line. They'll feed it center, and that one bounces hard off the pads of Jordan Brandt. And the ace shot and goal heads up. Wow, Jared, that one skipped right past this, over the heads of the Fanatics here in the reserve bleachers, and probably maybe the most dangerous cut puck I've seen. I know we saw kind of one float next to the Breakers broadcast booth on Monday, but that one actually curved and sliced right over the heads of the Fanatics.
Yeah, and those delay game penalties have been a little bit of an issue. Stepan Jurovic, I believe, taking it that time. But going back to Chance Taylor and that Kent State team, they don't play in the MAC because they're a club team. So they're in the ACHA. But Mike Sullivan, another former Icebreaker, was on that team. He was the 3rd leading scorer. Chance Taylor was the 4th leading scorer. And, of course, John Butita was the 1st leading scorer. So those trio of guys have all donned the Icebreakers uniform the past year.
Oh, they didn't have an official team? The Golden Flashes?
I mean, it's club, so it's official. It's just not NCAA.
Okay. Because Kent State normally competes in the Mid-American Conference, the MAC, in all of their sports. I would have guessed that they had a team, but nonetheless a very successful club team to boot here. And 147 now left against Jurovic, and a much-deserved delay of game penalty, as that was one that sliced down here and over the near boards and right over the Fanatics' heads.
Good to see everybody's okay over there. That was a dangerous-looking puck coming out of play.
Face-off now, left defensive circle, closest Jordan Brandt here. East-West matchup on this Sunday fun day afternoon. Watertown, Delaware also in action. Again, we'll get you that score when we return from the Labatt Blue first intermission. It's the Thunderbirds circling the puck around the Icebreakers defensive zone as only they can swarm in. That's part of their great success and why they are so talented and former Commissioner's Cup champions. Got it left side, blue line. Vlasov fakes this windup. They'll get it over to Bakor, right side. He'll wind up, and a nice save there by Jordan Brandt as Bakor had some steam behind that one.
Yeah, I can't quite provide the same goaltending insight that Kelly Curl does on the Thunderbirds broadcast, but I think so far Jordan Brandt's playing a pretty solid game. Obviously, that first goal he probably wants back, but he made 10 saves, recovered pretty nicely.
Spuddy's Tavern's the preferred restaurant of Menor Icebreakers. Spuddy's Tavern, located in Menor on the Lake, will give fans 10% off their bill after Icebreakers home games when you bring in your ticket stub. One of the great reasons to get here to Menor Ice Arena, tickets start as low as $13 along with free parking. Great crowd on hand here for Sunday Fun Day. Some concession stand specials with Sam down there. And we have a face-off right defensive circle. Also discounted tickets for veterans as well. So a nice thing to come check out if you are a veteran in the area. A lot of veterans here in Northeast Ohio. Carolina with possession of the puck. Get it, blue line. Vlasov trying to beat Pinkowski there, the Allen Park, Michigan native. And a nice move there by Pashtuka to send that one all the way down. Behind the net where it's Jacob Mullen. Mullen didn't get the start. It was Patrick Polivka, who was able to walk off with assistance from George Holt and the Lake Health Athletic trainers. So hopefully he is okay. But it's Jacob Mullen in there. Now it's Peter Panachik crossing the blue line. He skates back. Nice hard cut there outside of the circle. And he'll feed it back to his teammate there and gets the shot off on goal. That's Joe Osaka, the Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania native. Maybe that's the problem. Osaka had a hat trick. Pittsburgh isn't too well liked here in Northeast Ohio, and the Steelers have always had the Browns number, so maybe that's why part of Osaka had the Icebreakers number. You have to continue that tradition of Pittsburgh being a thorn in the side of Northeast Ohio.
Joe Osaka has just been all over the place these last two nights for the Thunderbirds. Has 5 goals in this series so far.
And in only 14 games played, a 9-7-16 scoring line, 5 of his 9 in the past 2 nights. And now it is Daniel Martin feeding it back to Klenetsky, who's had a great season for the Thunderbirds so far. Daniel Klenetsky with a 10-24-34 scoring line. And he is one of 6 Thunderbirds in double-digit goals on the year. Now, Osaka enters the neutral zone, crosses blue line right side, fending off Hatham Oade, former Port Huron Prowler. Cangelosi trips, still able to keep the puck in play on his knees, trying to work it up there, gets it left circle. That's the Martin. Martin takes out one man. He's trying to evade 3 Icebreakers. The Icebreakers are swarming the Thunderbirds, but Jared, as you alluded to earlier, they're still getting their passes and shots off, but a good job there by Menor to clear it the length of the ice.
Yeah, it seems like, obviously, we don't travel with the team, so we didn't see this in person, but last night, a lot of Thunderbirds getting just wide open and left alone in the slot. And that was part of the issue and why that game got out of hand. Klenetsky
had a nice slide there to keep the puck going forward instead of towards the net there. And Mullen, that one rattles off the top of the crossbar. Now it's Joe Keenan who was in on the start for the Icebreakers, part of that Ganley Village Automotive starting line. And Thunderbirds flip it into the air across the neutral zone in center ice. Keenan's there and gets it to Conway. Conway has to send an errant pass down where it'll be Grebenikov, Viktor Grebenikov, the Russian native, not one of the 8 Czech Republic natives, but a different international flair. Avoids the forecheck, gets it to Vlasov, works it left to right off the top of the stick of Panachik. He was trying to get it to teammate Andre Nitchin, head coach as well. The last time the Thunderbirds were in Menor Ice Arena, they picked up their 100th win, fastest franchise to get it there, and only their 3rd year in the league. Now, the Icebreakers on the counter. Stephen Fowler, who has the icebreaker goal, crosses over the ice, and they're going to get whistled for the offsides here at 5:53. It was 5-5 shots on goal, Jared, and now it's been a 7-1 advantage in that favor of the Thunderbirds since then. Carolina has done a good job at keeping the puck in the Icebreakers' defensive zone.
And that's been one consistent over this lengthy 16-game winning streak the Thunderbirds have over the Icebreakers. It seems like they outshoot them by a wide margin every game, and looks like we might be headed towards that again. 12-6 are the shots on goal in favor of Carolina so far.
JD Cleaners is the official and preferred dry cleaners of the Menor Icebreakers, where customer service is their priority. They take pride in customer satisfaction by providing quality dry cleaning and laundering services, making your drop-up or pick-up a delivery clothing pleasant and speedy. That's JD Cleaners, the preferred dry cleaners of the Menor Icebreaker. And we will have a face-off now in the neutral zone, closest the Thunderbird zone. Bakor will send that one forward. Peshtuka able to get there first for Menor and send that one back into the Thunderbirds' defensive zone. And we're in the final just over 5 minutes of the first period of play here from Menor Ice Arena. Good crowd on here. That one goes under the official skate. Declan Conway will get it to Perks. Perks to Fowler, and he just misses left corner. Oh, that was a beautiful feed for Perks. The spinning would have been assist, but look at the counter. Holt feeds it outside. That's a good counter there. I don't think we have a number 6. That must be Kelly Curl. Am I correct on that one, Jared? I don't see a number 6.
6 is Kelly Kerr, but we got an icebreaker down. I can't see a number. It starts with a 2.
Oh, in the net there. Hopefully he's okay as he is laying supine. And Jordan Brandt helps him out. And Lake Health Athletic trainers will skate over. He is laying on the ice face down. Hopefully okay there. A couple bad collisions down at both ends of the net. Took out the Thunderbirds goalkeeper, Patrick Polivka. And now we can't quite get you that number, but it is Kelly Curl at number 6 here as we check out the instant replay from the Breakers broadcast booth to see if we could get you a number there.
A very high-tech equipment we have. Looked like he was taken down by a Thunderbird. Couldn't quite read the number, but like we said before, this is a couple of teams that really can't afford too many more injuries. The depth is really being tested on both sides.
Thanks again to Drew Blevich joining us alongside us here in the Breakers broadcast booth, providing the broadcast on WTOB 980 AM and 96.3 FM down in Winston-Salem. Of course, Jared Tennant joins me alongside here in the Breakers broadcast booth. And
that is Alfonso Diaz for the Icebreakers. So good to see him get up under his own power.
Yeah, his helmet off there, but able to come off on his own power just like Polivka. So we'll see if Diaz can return at some point, but always good if they're walking off on their own power and own feet there.
It was George Holt that took down Diaz on that play, so he'll serve 2 minutes in the penalty box.
So 5:14 remaining, 13-7 shot on goal advantage in favor of the Thunderbirds. And the officials sort this out. We want to tell you about the Kids Club. Kids ages 5 to 16 are eligible to join the brand new Junior Icebreakers Kids Club. Members will receive a t-shirt, a card, special access to events with players, and receive free admission with a paying adult during select games through the 19-20 season. Cost is just $15 per season per child. For more information, visit MentorIcebreakers.com. Want to thank a few of our corporate sponsors: Marco's Pizza, Kemp LLC, Conway Land Title, Toe Drag Apparel, CSP Insurance, Wingate by Wyndham Hotel, Market Street Family Restaurant, Global Real Estate Advisors, Spuddy's Tavern, Vitamix, and Homeline, an online real estate company. We'll have a face-off here, left defensive circle, and Mark Esri will take the draw for the Icebreakers. Pashtuka now feeds it over to Henry Berger, who's back after serving a one-game suspension, the result of Friday's activities. High sticking is the call.
And changed to a double minor, so the officials are showing again they're not going to tolerate anything today. They're going to do everything they can to keep this game under control.
Icebreakers on the Lake Health power play. They scored on their lone goal so far this period at even 10 minutes. It was Stephen Fowler. Mark Esri picking up speed. He's had a 4-point week so far. Looking to end strong and help the Icebreakers pick up that offense. That one flips towards the Thunderbirds bench. Able to stay in play. Pashtuka winds up left circle off the pads there of Jacob Mullen. Good look there from Pashtuka. He had some steam behind that wrist shot. They get it over to Morrow, who can't quite keep control of the puck. Feeds it to Pashtuka, and Bakor will force that one into the corner. Now Mark Esri looking. He's got Pashtuka left side blue line. He takes it himself, skates over right circle, but he's pickpocketed there by Daniel Klinetsky, one of the Czech Republic natives. They get it left side. Klinetsky does. Winds up, bounces off the right pad there of Jordan Brandt, and Panachik will cycle it back to Vlasov.
Kind of becoming what we saw a lot of over the weekend, where the Thunderbirds just don't let the Icebreakers really even get through the neutral zone. That overwhelming forecheck just makes it tough on the power play unit, especially one that's struggling.
Mullins quickly become a fan favorite for Carolina, and you would think he'd be an icebreaker the amount he dances to Baby Shark, a song that we hear quite a bit here at Menor Ice Arena. But he has won over the Thunderbirds fans, and they just have basically got a goalie farm down there, Jared. I mean, Polivka and Mullen and McClendon and Henry Dill before he was called up to the SPHL, a teammate of Rodebush now in the Rail Yard Dogs. It seems like no matter who goes back there in the nest for the Thunderbirds, they've done pretty well.
And hopefully Polivka's injury isn't too serious, but if he's out for any period of time, that depth will get tested here. Obviously, Treyway McClendon, you couldn't really predict an injury. It would have been useful to have Frankie as a backup.
That one bounced off the left pad of Mullen, and now back into play. Wind up from Chance Taylor, who scored earlier on the double assist along with Declan Conway when they found number 15 Fowler. Taylor gets knocked down there in front of the Fanatics behind the net. No whistle, but now we get a whistle at 3:20 remaining in the first period. 2:06 up against Carolina. It looks like we'll have another Thunderbird joining that penalty box with George Holt.
I think Chance Taylor got taken down. Let's see who that was for the Thunderbirds.
Yeah, I
think that was Grebenikov. So
Even Drew Blevins alongside us was looking for the call, and he's a Carolina guy. It was pretty clear there that he got knocked down.
be another 2 minutes of 5-on-3, so you got to take advantage here.
You're playing the 25-3 1-1 Thunderbirds, and you have a 5-on-3 advantage for over 2 minutes. You have to take advantage of that here in the waning minutes of the period at home, where they have been only pedestrian so far. Conway flips that one and goes hard off of the glove and over the net, and another whistle now at 3:06, and that was the 9th shot on goal from an icebreaker stick.
I think Alex Moore might have played that one with a high stick. That'll take the face-off out of the zone.
Yeah, icebreakers cannot shoot themselves in the foot, Jared. So many times over the last couple of weeks, we have seen the icebreakers get an advantage like a 5-on-3, but then send someone to the box shortly after. So 10th shot on goal for the icebreakers. They trail that department by 4, but on the scoreboard, it's 1-1. Pastuca picks up steam, finds Esri outside that left circle, back to the blue line to Stuart Dant, and the pass gets away from Declan Conway. Couple seconds wasted there as Conway unable to keep control of it. He is the team leading scorer.
Yeah, it's just those little plays like that. I mean, you got a 5-on-3 and you just shoot yourself in the foot, and that's going to kill off 20 or so seconds off his man advantage.
Conway came in with a 26-21-47 scoring line. He picked up another point today. He's got the puck now to Esri. Esri feeds it over to Fowler, who scored earlier. Nice stick clash there with Cantallosi, and the icebreaker pull it in the right corner and take a 2-1 lead. And that's the second time tonight the icebreakers have scored on the Lake Health power play, and it's about time that has been the case.
And you can't ask much more out of Jake Mullen there. He made that initial save and just robbed Declan Conway, but obviously couldn't get to the rebound in time, and Declan took advantage. So this is, I'm not sure the official stat, but it's been a while since the icebreakers held any kind of lead over the Thunderbirds, so interesting to see how they're going to respond from here on out on both sides.
Conway with the right side rebound. We were just giving you his scoring there. He'll pick up point number 69 for Mentor on the year. 89 career points for Declan Conway in the 1.5 years as an icebreaker.
And you wonder if that Thunderbirds power play unit just worn down from so much work over the weekend, and then having a little bit of a short-handed lineup today just makes it really tough. But Icebreakers not going to complain with the struggles they've had in the power play recently. They'll take anything they can get.
So Esri leads the team in 71 total points, and Conway now picks up point 69 in his icebreaker career, 27th goal. Stephen Fowler in on the assist. He's got a 2-point night going tonight as well. And the icebreakers take that 2-1 lead here in the waning minutes. We'll see if they can hold on, as that could be a difference maker in the rest of the game if they can keep this late first period lead. And it was the Thunderbirds scoring first, so Mentor has gone 2-0 unanswered. Now Yarovic winds up. Nice wrist shot there. Goes hard off the left glove of Mullen, who's being tested here with a couple of 5-on-3s already thrown his way and having to step in for the injured Patrick Polivka, who was able to walk off but has not returned to the ice. We'll see if we see him anymore, and hopefully he's okay. Panachik the other way, just misses wide right. 1 minute remaining, 14-12 shot on goal advantage, still in favor of the Thunderbirds, but Mentor has taken a 2-1 lead. We somehow got a little trigger happy there on the scoreboard and added 2 for the price of 1, not intentionally. So it is 2-1 Icebreakers, not 3-1.
It's a very important final minute of play for the Icebreakers. Got to keep the Thunderbirds off the board and hold on to that lead.
Stephen Fowler, an assist and a goal so far tonight. It's been a strong first period for the Oxford, Michigan native. Fowler sat out a lengthy spell over the winter in the 2019 portion of the year. He's in his 17th game, came in with a 4-10-14 scoring line, and with 2 points tonight, already at the 16 mark, just outside of the top 5 in points scored currently for the Icebreakers. Of course, not counting John Butita and current Columbus River Dragon Parker Moskow's numbers, just guys currently on the roster. Frankie McClendon, of course, played some action this weekend. Came the 62nd icebreaker to take today's. Chance Taylor today made his debut, 63rd, and picked up the point. Net comes off a bit there, but they don't call it, as the Icebreakers were looking for a rebound in the waning minutes. 12 seconds left here. Morrow had a chance. Good closeout by Mullen there. The butterfly save. Now the wrist shot from Keenan bounces off of the pads. 5 seconds left. Esri chases the puck behind the net. Gets boarded up by Vlasov, the Russian native. This one's going to have time expire. And as we head to the first intermission, officials doing their best to make sure everyone cleanly goes to their benches. It's the Icebreakers 2 and the Thunderbirds 1.
I love that out of George Holt at the end as his goaltender got his stick knocked out of his hand. He says, here you go, and gives him his stick. So Jake Mullen had George Holt's stick for the final 10 seconds or so of that period.
Hey, you got to have your goalie covered. Krivolovic scored at 16:56 remaining and went right through the pads of Jordan Brandt, and that's how they broke open the 1-0 lead. Stephen Fowler off the double assist from Chance Taylor and Declan Conway at the 10-minute mark even, tied this one up at 1. And Jared, what we have not seen is a lot of these things in that final goal. Goal scored at the end of the period and not giving up one, and the 5-on-3 advantage coming through. It all comes full circle there for Menor as Declan Conway gets the right side rebound and assist from Fowler. Icebreakers take that 2-1 lead, and we look forward here into the second and third period. Still 40 minutes to play. What do you expect in this series wrap-up between these two teams? Final matchup between the Thunderbirds and Icebreakers here.
Well, it's going to be a grind on both sides with all the injuries and suspensions, just having these short lineups today. I think overall for the Icebreakers, that was a pretty solid first period. Obviously, getting those power plays, you'd like to maybe get a little bit more offense, but getting 2 on the Thunderbirds is no easy task, even when they're depleted like they are today.
With Carolina already at 78 points and an .867 win percentage, they are almost clinched a playoff spot for sure. Menor at 14-17, 0-2, and only 44 points, needing to pick things up here in the Eastern Division. So this is a very important one. You've got a tough road coming up, and Carolina obviously never a guaranteed win, as the Thunderbirds have swept the Icebreakers this season. But if they could come away from Menor Ice Arena with a win today, what kind of momentum would that be with all things that have gone not necessarily the way of the Double Blue?
I think just mentally, it's so important just to beat these guys once. I know it's the final game of the season series between these two teams, but when you lose to a team 16 straight times, it just gives you a little bit of confidence to say, okay, we can take them down, even with the short rosters today. At the same time, it's just mentally you want to get that first win over the Thunderbirds.
And you got to think even the inaugural Icebreakers picked up 2 wins against Carolina. Men are looking for the first one, but we're going to step away here for the Labatt Blue first intermission. When we come back, we'll bring you the Vitamix saves of the period, and we'll also take a look at that Watertown Delaware game, and of course bring you 40 more minutes of exciting hockey here from Menor Ice Arena. Keep it right here on YouTube.com. Welcome back to Menor Ice Arena as we wrap up the Labatt Blue first intermission. Your Menor Icebreakers with the 2-1 lead here against the Carolina Thunderbirds. And I'm joined alongside Jared Tennant, color commentator. And Jared is going to bring us that one score from around the league. It's an Eastern Division matchup between the Watertown Wolves and the Delaware Thunder.
Now, Watertown's looking for the weekend sweep. They beat Delaware twice already this weekend, but the Thunder are on top 1-0. It's like that game's in the second period. Ryan Marker, what a surprise, the lone goal scorer for the Thunder.
How many points does Ryan Marker have on the year, do you know?
I believe he leads the league in goals at least. I know he's up there in scoring as well. I'll have to check that. Get our fact-checking team all over that.
Now, we don't have Kelly Curl up in the broadcast booth, who does have that wealth of knowledge having played the game. But, Jared, you have maybe the best encyclopedia of facts alongside us. I mean, I don't know how you must have the world's biggest arms, because carrying along that side tome with you to every broadcast shows your dedication and grit.
Yeah, you know, that's what I'm all about, is that dedication and grit. And that's why I was able to find out that Ryan Marker has 30 goals, leads the league. That's, you know, not to toot my own horn there, but that's what I'm all about.
No, we appreciate it, Jared, and what you bring to us here. And we are back, sort of back. The game has resumed, but the clock hasn't.
Oh, well done. Good job.
So we'll try to get that to you. I was about to say we are under 20 minutes because I actually missed the jump of the start there. But I'm sure the officials will see that momentarily. They have swapped sides. The Icebreakers are moving right to left in their double blue jerseys with white numbers. The Thunderbirds are moving, or excuse me, the Thunderbirds. We're all kinds of confused here. Let's take a pause here. The Thunderbirds are moving right to left in their white jerseys with black and red trim and red numbers. The Menor Icebreakers are moving left to right in their double blue jerseys, dark blue with light blue and white trim and white numbers, as we're all trying to alert the officials from the Breakers broadcast. But that's why we're doing two things at once here. Drew, Jared, and myself are all pointing to the clock, and now they've got the clock winding down, but only 12 seconds into it. So we'll see if there's an adjustment here on the clock or not, because probably over a minute went by.
Yeah, we're at least 2 minutes into this period, and the clock says 18:41 right now, so we'll have to take a little bit of correcting at the next break.
So, once again, it's 2-1 Icebreakers. The Thunderbirds will lead 14-13 shots on goal. That one stick clash off Fowler from George Holt. And 18:25 remaining here in the second period of play for Menor Ice Arena. Thanks for joining us here on this Sunday afternoon, wherever you're from, Winston-Salem, Menor, Ohio, anywhere in between or beyond. Kelly Curl out there. There he is as a forward. He's normally in the broadcast booth or in between the pipes. He is out there as a forward, as promised. Cangelosi trying to find Joe Osaka, who had the hat trick last night, and now Klinetsky at center ice. And that one rattles off the left post there. So on the period, it was 13 saves for Jordan Brent and a collective 11 between Jake Mullen and Patrick Polivka, who left the game with an injury. It is still Mullen between the pipes. We don't have an update on Polivka, although he was able to walk off with the assistance of Holt and the Lake Health athletic trainers.
Probably not a good sign that he's not on the bench, but I'm sure even if he was okay, he'd probably be kept out of this game just for precautions. You don't want to take any risks.
So we'll do a face-off here. Right defensive circle, closest Jordan Brent, 17:55. The officials, again, sorting this out, maybe doing a last check here on the time, making sure everything is good on that regard. And the face-off underway now. Jurovic sends it behind the net to Diaz, who had to leave earlier when he had a collision down in the ice with Holt. So Diaz back out there. Good to see the Pembroke Pines, Florida native is fine. So now 17:39 remaining in the second period. Esri sends a long outlet pass. Morrow racing to get it, and his man to beat there is Stanislav Bakor, but Bakor gets there first, one of 8 Czech Republic natives. Esri winds up, bounces off the pads there of Mullen.
I think that one might have hit the crossbar. Actually, Esri just narrowly missing his second goal of the weekend.
And that one will go out of play. Big thanks again to the Menor High School Top 25 Show Choir on the national anthem. And I want to tell you about Wingate by Wyndham Lamar for the preferred hotel for the Menor Icebreakers. Visitors coming from in and out of town can take advantage of special room rates when mentioning the Menor Icebreakers corporate rate when making reservations. And the Icebreakers are away next weekend in Port Huron before returning home to take on the Columbus River Dragons on February 7th and 8th. That'll be the first time the River Dragons come up to Mentor Ice Arena. The last team this year to come up here. There'll be a post-game skate on the 7th. Free if you bring your own skates, $3 rental. Puck drop 7:35. And check out the Port Huron Prowlers broadcast on Mixler next weekend as the Icebreakers will play a pair in Port Huron. They actually kind of play the Prowlers every other series coming up here for a little while into the late winter months. That one goes wide right. And now Declan Conway into the neutral zone. He's got a 1-on-3 disadvantage, though. Conway trying to get to that slot. He's chased around the net, works it over, and gets that pass up to Tim Perks, one of the Oxford, Michigan natives. They get off a shot. Good butterfly save made there by Mullen. Now Perks behind the net is able to get it to Danieluk, and a diving forward, Jake Mullen, makes the save. 16:40 remaining here in the second period. Again, 7-game flex packages are available. Gives you 7 vouchers to use at any home game this season. For more information, MentorIcebreakers.com or during business hours, call 440-290-8502. Also want to thank our corporate sponsors, Lake Erie Marine Sales, Mosaic Properties LLC, Stadium Grill, Preston Products LLC, Bethlehem Christmas Lights Park, Cana Winery, Habco Tool and Development, McGarry & Sons, Nova Southeastern University, Auburn Career Center, Mentor Ice Arena, Fitness First, Ganley Village Automotive, JD Cleaners, and Burger IM. Last Sunday was the Icebreakers doing a meet and greet at Burger IM. And now off the draw, the Thunderbirds win at 14-14, shot on goal advantage. Neither team. Cangelosi flips that one over the left circle. And Henry Berger, who's returning from his 1-game suspension, goes outlet to 08. 08 right to left to Stuart Dant. Dant winds up and sends that one high and out of play. Here on this Sunday fun day. That one clearly over.
And he has t-shirts, but if you want one, you gotta make some noise.
Slam getting the Fanatics into it here at Mentor Ice Arena. Again, you could check out a game for as little as $13 or $16 for the reserve bleachers. Face off from the left draw. You don't see Nate Farrington taking the draw as he is out. Top draw guy from the Icebreakers currently out. And again, we want to send our heartfelt condolences to the Bryant family on the tragic helicopter crash right before we came onto the broadcast. Just terrible news to hear. A tremendous player to watch growing up was Kobe Bryant on the hardwood floor.
That's one of those things that's still kind of difficult to process. It kind of doesn't feel real yet.
The Fanatics getting into it here at Mentor Ice Arena. Chance Taylor picked up an assist earlier in his first game in double blue, 63rd Icebreaker to don the double blue. Morrow able to feed it forward to Chance Taylor, and a good leaning over save made there by Mullen, who got thrust into the game in the first quarter of the first period when Polivka went down. Patrick Polivka came in at 10-2 with a 2.24 goals allowed per game and a 9.12 save percentage. And again, we tell you Mullen's numbers are deceiving at 3-15. Now well over 100 saves, but he has been tested when he was a member of the Battle Creek Rumblebees, weathered the storm, and might have helped him out here. And now he wears the red, white, and black for the Thunderbirds down at Winston-Salem. Morrow will have to cycle that back to Diaz as he felt the forecheck pressure coming from Viktor Pogrenikov. And a whistle on the ice now at 15:47. The Icebreakers have taken their first shot on goal advantage of the game. And want to thank Moe's Southwest Grill. They'll cater any event, office lunches, house parties, tailgates, weddings, ballet recitals, and thumb wrestling tournaments. They'll fill your fajita, taco, and nacho bars with fresh and flavorful ingredients, sure to please everyone. Go to moes.com/catering or visit our Mentor 2 locations, South Euclid or Mayfield stores. Welcome to Moe's. Now behind the net, Icebreakers trying to clear this one. Sunday fun day, a lot of junior Icebreakers on hand here today. You can probably hear through here at the Breakers broadcast booth. And now it's Carolina crossing center ice. That's Peter Panachik. Panachik finds his man. No, he can't quite get that puck over. A lot of defensive pressure, left side flanking for Mentor. Alex Morrow centers it to Diaz. Diaz goes right side to Esri. Esri gets it to Chance Taylor. Taylor was looking for Morrow left side of the net there. 15:10 remaining. Now hard off of the near boards. They feed it over far side. Esri trying to avoid the pressure from Panachik. Klinetsky there applying some as well, left side. Stick clashing going on as they try to free the puck from Fowler on a 2-point night. 14:51 remaining. Now in the corner. Wind up, Conway goes just wide right. Chasing it down is Pashtuka. Pashtuka's got a Thunderbird defenseman, Vincent DeAndre, to contend with, who's native in Winston-Salem. And the Thunderbirds now on the counter. Bass drum kicks in, and the Thunderbirds still coming. Here comes Martin. Outside of that left circle, he'll go wide. Sends it over to head coach Andre Nitsch. And now the Thunderbirds will lose that puck, and Fowler will send it along the near boards. Try to get it to Declan Conway, who has an assist and a goal tonight, as does Stephen Fowler. Two guys with 2 points. Painesville, Ohio native. Now with 49 points on the season. He's looking for point 50, possibly today. Nitsch now looking to center that to Krivolovic, who had the lone Thunderbird goal, and that one goes the length of the ice. Grebenikov will chase it down. Mullen waves it off, and now the forecheck pressure and the board back there by Thomas Stewart-Dant. Hatham Owade will send over to Richie Pinkowski. Owade keeps it going forward, trying to get it to Stewart-Dant. Carolina pushes it back into the neutral zone, and now the stick clashing right there by the box. Coach Ian Duncan instructing Thomas Stewart-Dant to get near the blue line in case of a breakaway opportunity from Carolina. Good call there by Coach Duncan. Thunderbirds on the quick change. They'll dump that one back, but Alex Morrow will intercept the pass. Morrow crosses center ice. Nice feed right side of Pinkowski. Pinkowski sends one off the back glass. Stewart-Dant will recover the puck, pushes it forward, but the Thunderbirds will steal it. Good quick shot over to Peter Panachik, who crosses the blue line. Panachik looking, winds up off the pads there. Left side of Jordan Brandt, the righty from Onway, Alberta, Canada. Now Pinkowski, the Allen Park, Michigan native, crosses blue line. Pinkowski centers it to Morrow. Morrow off the stick of Vlasov, a good deflection there from the Russian defenseman. Now behind the net, Thunderbirds looking to clear that one out of the defensive zone. Menor has been applying much more pressure down here into Thunderbirds' defensive zone, and with the 2-1 lead, finally playing with a bit of confidence on the ice. Perks will cycle it back now to Diaz. Diaz is Danielek, and he'll get him left side, the Belarus native. Along the boards now, and they'll dump that one behind the net at 12:35 remaining here in the second period. Icebreakers with the 2-1 lead here for the Breakers broadcast booth, and Diaz winds up, just goes wide right. Perks was trying to close out on the rebound, but he's pushed out of the way there by George Holt, the Rochester Hills, Michigan native. Thunderbirds in the neutral zone, lose possession of the puck, and Fowler will cycle it back across the circles. 12:10 remaining, and that one a low save made by the leaning over Mullen. A good period, I would say, so far for the Icebreakers. Neither team have scored, but Jared, you gotta like a little bit of the renowned confidence that Coach Duncan's squad is showing.
You could definitely tell that both these teams have tired legs. I mean, just a brutal travel schedule, taking that overnight bus ride after playing games on back-to-back nights, but I think you're right. It's not a bad period so far for the Icebreakers. Have that shots on goal advantage, which is very rare when they're playing the Thunderbirds.
I want to thank Taylor Ruyer, Game Day Operations, and Frank Schmidt, Operations Intern through Menor High School's business program. Larry Rummel, Al Moon, and Lawrence Rummel on the sound crew. We'll tell you about the rest of our great staff soon. Thunderbirds now are looking to tie this one up. Cangelosi crosses, and off the stick there of Joe Keenan. Thunderbirds will retrieve the puck. We're looking slot, but a wind up there as he pushes it forward. Does Martin on the wrist shot. And Daniel Martin, wearing number 18 for the Thunderbirds with a 15-12-27 scoring line. Martin, Krivolovic, Klinetsky, Bunn, Salak, and Panachek have all registered double-digit goals scored for the Thunderbirds.
You made it so long without saying a Panachek.
Don't say it. I don't want to get stuck in my head.
Long.
I'm sorry, Peter. I am sorry. You should have heard me practicing it before we got on the broadcast. Panachik.
Nobody's perfect.
Hey, save percentages. I don't see anyone with 1,000 save percentage. We've got about a 975 percentage on Panachik's name today, improving our numbers, just like Mullen has been improving from between the pipes since his Rumblebees days. Now as a Thunderbird. Hopefully the Thunderbird fans will forgive us for that one slip. Hatham away now, crosses the blue line. Back to Pashtuka. Stewart-Dant now sends one behind the net. And Hatham Awade will retrieve the puck. He's looking to get it to Keenan. Keenan winds up in traffic, obstructed view there, but goes off of a Thunderbird stick, and here come the Thunderbirds the other way. Pecora now centers it to Cangelosi. Stick clashing there with Henry Berger. Good to see Berger back on the ice after serving a 1-game suspension. 10:41 remaining. Both teams tied up at 17 shots on goal. Thanks again for joining us here on YouTube.com. Check out the Port Huron Prowlers next weekend. That's the next 2 icebreaker games. They will play on the 31st of January and 1st of February to take on the Prowlers. 2 7:30 starts before returning home for 2 with Columbus. Then it's back on the road to Port Huron at McMorran Arena. Be fun to get the Columbus River Dragons finally in town, Jared. I know they had a series away down at the Columbus Civic Arena, but we haven't seen the River Dragons this entire season yet. We're wrapping up what the Thunderbirds have already wrapped up with the Dashers and Rumblebees.
Oh, the River Dragons are playing some of their best hockey of the season right now, but right here at Menor Ice Arena, looks like the Thunderbirds are kind of taking control of this one, getting some good possession time in the icebreaker zone.
And that's what they do. They wear you down, make you wait for you to make a mistake, almost get a chance there as a long rebound was almost put back in by the Thunderbirds. Krivolovic, who scored the first goal. Played some hockey over in France, but the Czech Republic native. And here at Menor Ice Arena, it's a 2-1 lead. Want to remind you of a couple promotions coming up. On Saturday night, February 8th, it's Mental Health Awareness Night at Menor Ice Arena. It's also Kids Club Night. Kids Club members will get into the game free when accompanied by a paying adult. Mental health is just as important to our well-being as physical health, and it is important to be aware of our own mental health and know there are resources available for people with mental health conditions to enable to live them meaningful lives. The Lake County chapter of National Alliance on Mental Illness will be at the game February 8th to provide information and resources to provide help and support for family members and friends who may be dealing with a mental illness. And then it's a bunch of promotions over the month of February, as it will be Friday, February 21st. The River Dragons will be in town. 40th anniversary of the Miracle on Ice, when the 1980 USA Olympic team beat the Soviet Union in an epic match and went on to beat Finland to take the gold medal. Free post-game skate after. The 22nd is Cancer Awareness Night. We'll be tossing teddy bears, so start getting those ready. And then we'll have a bunch of promotions when Elmira comes to town. So go to MenorIceBreakers.com for all the information coming up. So we are getting set to return to the ice after an official timeout. It's 2-1 Icebreakers, 18-17. Shot and goal advantage back in favor of the Thunderbirds. And it'll be Cangelosi and Tim Perks taking the draw. Joe Cangelosi, the Plainsboro, New Jersey native. 9:43 remaining here in the second period of play for Menor Ice Arena. Also want to thank Scott Tennant, Greg Butala, Greg Kopp, Fred Hayer, Russ Arala, Joe Knight, Brandon Cottis, and Daniel Savitz are off-ice officials. Jared Tennant, our communications manager, color commentary, and Casey Healy on the video stream, intern through the Auburn Career Center Interactive Multimedia Technology Program. Declan Conway looking to get involved here at the offensive end and sends that one right. Thunderbirds have had control of the puck over the last couple minutes down in the icebreaker zone, and we'll see if Menor can repay the favor here, nursing that 2-1 lead. But the Thunderbirds, very dangerous chance of scoring and taking the tie or lead at any point here, as they just have so many weapons and can do it all so quickly. Right now, Menor looking quickly to get it through the neutral zone. That's Jurovic. He's got Conway right side, and a glove save made there. Pockets it in his left glove. Does Mullen, Jacob Mullen, with a big save, and wearing number 30 today for the Thunderbirds. Number 1 normally, and he has been a great pickup to round out that goalie squad for Carolina. The lefty out of Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. I'm going to guess that there was a heavy French settlement in that town of Idaho. Do you think that's a good context clue, Jared, from the name?
That's a solid guess out of you.
So now it is Daniel Martin crossing blue line into the zone. He loses control of the puck. 08 is there to board him up right in front of the bench of those Thunderbirds. Don't want to hang out too long in the roost, and now Thunderbirds will clear it back. Panachik feeds it forward. Hatham away, though, intercepts the pass and sends that one hard off the back glass. 8:41 remaining now. Center, Pashtuka sends one at chest level into that corner. And it's Grebenikov who will retrieve the puck. And now working it up the near boards is Carolina, but a heavy forecheck there from Mark Esri, the Framingham, Massachusetts native. Also had a stint of hockey played down in Germany. Now behind the net, Esri, good feed over center ice to Morrow. And a nice stick placement made by Holt, though, to send that out far wide right. Danieluk will work at center. Esri can't get the shot off between the circles, and Holt doesn't allow him to recover.
Not much going offensively for the Icebreakers through the first 10 minutes of this period.
And if you're Coach Duncan's squad, you got to think you'd like to add one before the third period comes, as even though Carolina trails by one, you have to think that the momentum is slowly slipping towards the Thunderbirds' favor. And the dangerous thing about that is, will the Icebreakers be able to overcome that if the Thunderbirds are able to push forward?
I mean, that's kind of a testament to just how good how deep this Thunderbirds team is, just because they have, 7 players on their bench right now, and we're still, you can't feel comfortable with the lead against this team. Their depth is incredible, and they still have a ton of talented scorers out on the ice.
They definitely did not win the Commissioner's Cup last year by accident, setting an FPHL record for most wins in a row. Fastest team to 100 franchise wins. And they have been a very dangerous team since their inception in 2017, where they finished 500 for their first year. So Carolina has never played a losing brand of hockey under the Thunderbirds moniker, which is pretty impressive. Now skating right through everybody is Fowler, but he can't get it off the edge of the stick. He rattled right through. Reload by Conway to the right corner. And the Icebreakers ask, and their answer is a goal. Now we add it to the scoreboard at the 7:19 marker. You got to give credit to Fowler there. He skated between the Thunderbirds' back line, but Conway puts his 50th point in of the year.
And again, you got to give credit to Jake Mullen there. He made that initial save and made it look pretty good, but that rebound, just too many Icebreakers crashing the net there, which is a good thing for Coach Ian Duncan's squad. That was a problem earlier in this series, not getting enough guys in front of the net, but it pays off that time with Declan's, I think it's his 27th goal of the year.
28th now. He picked up his 27th earlier, so Conway has the record for most goals in a season. Left side rebound for Conway.
That's definitely good to see Declan getting the offense going again, because he's been going through a little bit of a rough stretch after that hot start.
So Perks and Fowler credited on the assist. So Fowler with a 3-point game so far in the 3-1 lead. Perks picks up his first point in a few contests as he's returned now to more regular play after battling a lot of injuries last season and a few this year. So good for him getting that point.
Now, the most important thing for the Icebreakers is you cannot get comfortable. I'm sure this Thunderbirds team would like nothing more than to hand a 3-game sweep, especially in their shorthanded state like they are right now.
Personally statistic, big one for Declan Conway, that left side rebound, as it becomes his 50th point of the season and 70th point overall. Now, Mark Esri had 51 points last year. That's obviously we have a small sample size, but Esri has the record for Icebreakers' most points in a season. So Conway knocking on the door of that, and overall total points, he has 71. So Declan Conway is 1 point away from tying both of those records.
Kelly Curl looked like he got hit with the tripping penalty, got too aggressive with the stick, so the Icebreakers have a chance to really grab the momentum here.
So Kelly Curl, you might have heard him if you're a Thunderbirds fan, on a Carolina broadcast, does a great job alongside Drew Blevins and color commentary there. He's suited up for the Thunder this year. He's suited up for the Prowlers. He's suited up for the Thunderbirds. He suited up for Menor last year. But now for the first time in all that he's done, he is playing forward for the Thunderbirds. How about that? Mullen just swipes that puck away from the slot.
The versatility out of that man, the beard on that man, it's just incredible. What a guy.
Are you attempting to grow a beard as big as Kelly Curl, Jared? I know you've had a season-long growing process so far.
I don't think I could match that type of quality.
You can't get the curl of Kelly's beard?
That's good. That's good stuff right there.
I love when I impress you once a game, Jared. 5:58 remaining here in the second period. 1:29 in the Lake Health power play against the Kelly Curl. So Curl and Andre Nitsch have both spent a trip to the box today. And now another whistle here as Martin and Daniel get tangled up on the near boards. Normally, the Lake Health power play has not been an exciting time for Mentor of recent, but today they have capitalized on 2 of them.
Right now, that one's going to end early. I think Yuri Pashtuka might have been called. It's a high sticking penalty on Danieluk, that is, not Pashtuka. Okay, 3rd time's a charm. Chance Taylor heads to the box.
Take a chance, Jared,
They're
and get it on
off.
the 3rd one.
Everybody's heading towards the penalty box.
Speaking of Yuri Pashtuka, it was nice to finally get to catch up with him after the last Icebreakers win on Monday. And seemed like he was a big fan favorite down in Winston-Salem. He was a very energetic kind of guy when we talked to him.
He's a very skilled offensive player, but hasn't done much so far, partially because he's coming off that knee injury. It's just so hard when you miss a month or more of hockey just to get your legs back under you.
He had a 74, 101, 175 scoring line for the Thunderbirds in 5 series and earned a ring. Brought in here with that championship experience. High sticking is the call against Chance Taylor, who spent his first penalty minutes in the FPHL for Mentor here now, and that'll offset the penalty against Kelly Curl. 40 seconds in the favor of the Thunderbirds, then they'll have the 5-on-4 man advantage. Wind up from Pashtuka, that one goes out of play. 5:21 remaining in the period, and the Icebreakers have retaken the shot on goal advantage, 20-18, but we'll see what happens when Carolina gets back on the advantage. Chance Taylor has been involved today. Signed, the former Kent State Golden Flash and Arizona native, has a point on the first Icebreakers goal, and now his first trip to the box, as we were saying, on the draw, left defensive circle in front of Mullen. Again, Palifka got the start tonight, but went out with a early first period injury. Now, Cangelosi with the feed. That was a good feed to Osaka, but just a bit ahead of him, and Osaka boarded up now by another number 25. That's the Pembroke Pines, Florida native, Alfonso Diaz. Thanks again for joining us here on YouTube.com, your home and away home for all Mentor Icebreakers games. Whether you're listening in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, Mentor, Ohio, anywhere in between or beyond, we appreciate you listening on this Sunday afternoon. It's been a relatively clean game, all things considered, coming into it, and that is a welcome change of pace after the rough ending to last night. Only 7 seconds left in the penalty against the Thunderbirds, and then the Thunderbirds will have a 40-second advantage, and that starts now. Icebreakers now on the penalty kill. 4:24 remaining and 36 seconds in the 5-on-4 in favor of the red and white and black Thunderbirds. Panachik winds up, and that one goes off the left glove of Jordan Brandt. And Brandt playing some solid hockey here. We got a chance to talk to him post-game after his win against the Rumblebees. Of course, has taken over major duties since Rodebush being called up to the Rail Yard Dogs, and now joined alongside former Thunderbird Frankie McClendon.
I think McClendon and Brandt, that's a pretty solid duo in the pipes for the Icebreakers. Obviously, you can't really replace Austin Rodebush, but that's about as good as you can get in the middle of the season in terms of replacing a guy like that. And
with Carolina's success over the first 3 years, I'm all for adding former Thunderbirds. Pashtuka having played there, McClendon, and getting some of those guys who have had that experience being down there with such a winning program. Look at Nitch hang out in the slot. He'd like to pick up a goal here to end the weekend. Klonetsky is going to feed it, and a nice shot there by Panachik, and Brandt will make the save. Esri and Yarovic dive and help out as well.
Yeah, Brandt's having one of his better games as an Icebreaker, I think. That was another really good save, and on that 2-on-1 earlier to start the power play for the Thunderbirds, Brandt came up big as well.
So it's been a wild year in the FPHL. 4 new teams, 4 new expansion franchises, and we've even seen something like the Port Huron Prowlers having their emergency backup goalie do a game from the bench. Seen a little bit of everything so far in just over the first half of the season, Jared. Jared is at a loss of words. He agrees. He can't believe all the things we've seen. And there a nice low save made there by Mullen. And 21-21 shot on goals, tied up once again. It's been a good game. Kind of remarkable, though, as good as Carolina is, down 2 goals, you still don't feel like you're even close out of the clear if you're Mentor.
No, these last 3 minutes, 20 seconds of the second period is going to be pretty big for the Icebreakers. You want to hold on to that. Obviously, you just want to be on top going into the third period, but that 2-goal lead would be huge.
And it's the last time these two teams will face. Fanatics on their feet here at Mentor Ice Arena. Good crowd on hand. Hey, we got like a mini cowbell here. I know the Thunderbirds are famous for their cowbell at the Fairgrounds Annex.
The interference call that time, I think that one was well earned for the Thunderbirds. Didn't see exactly who it was, but got into Hatham Oade.
Hatham Oade joined the team a few years ago. Houston, Texas native, played for the Prowlers with a 1-3-4 scoring line, but yet to score yet for the Icebreakers, and that is Daniel Konecki, one of the 8 Czech Republic natives, taking a trip to the box. So Menor avoids giving up a goal on the brief 40-second penalty kill, and now back on the Lake Cal power play. Want to thank Chris Lewis, Rashawn Bailey, Cassie Mann, and Malia Harwood, as well as Lake Cal for providing medical staff for tonight's game and throughout the season. Boarding the call against Konecki. Now behind the net, Tim Perks trying to clear it, and the Thunderbirds will send it the length of the ice, where Peshtuka will retrieve the loose puck. He'll feed it up to Fowler on a 3-point night. Gets it up to Perks. Perks beats his man. Gets the shot off. It goes wide left. I'm not quite sure how Tim Perks was able to get the shot off in that tangled web of Thunderbirds, but he does. Peshtuka now bounces one off the backboards. Daniel now behind the net to Conway. Conway, who has a 3-point night too. He's been on a bit of a sluggish period after having to pick up a lot of the duties himself, but a good night now. But look, 2-1 advantage in favor of Carolina. Wind up goes wide left and into the safety net. And I wonder if Carolina got a little jumpy there as they had Osaka flanking left side. He probably would have had a pretty good look at it from the other side.
Yeah, despite that 2-on-1 chance, it's about as good as we've seen the Icebreakers power play in a long time, really. I mean, obviously this Carolina penalty kill unit is a little bit gassed after a long weekend and a little bit of a heavy workload, but at the same time, you'll take what you can get when your power plays at 13% on the season.
A Sunday Fun Day here promotion at Menor Ice Arena. Discounted concession stand prices on hot dogs and hot chocolate and popcorn and all kinds of goodies down there. Got to get your family out to the game. A lot of kids here today, a lot of junior Icebreakers, and they're getting into it now as their team has the 3-1 lead. 45 seconds left in the Lake Cal power play. Vlasov, nice outlet pass there, and he'll find Panachik, left side, who brings it up the near boards, and he takes a board up there by Diaz. Esri now behind the net will survey his options, taking his time. 30 seconds left in the power play. Both teams at 22 shots on goal apiece. Morrow gets the outlet pass, avoids the stick there of Grebenikov. And now Berger up to Esri. Esri's got chance. Taylor there in the slot. Can't get it to him. Off the stick of Vlasov. Now Morrow in the neutral zone. Cycles it back. Oh, and a bad pass there. Picked easily off by Cangelosi, who skates past his man. A loose helmet down. Cangelosi takes a spill to the ice, and Diaz will come away with the puck. That could have been a dangerous scoring opportunity for the Thunderbirds.
Yeah, Joe Cangelosi, one of those guys that seems to play well every time he plays against the Icebreakers.
Just unable to get the rebound there for the Icebreakers, and Carolina evades giving up a goal at the other end. 53 seconds left in the second period of play, and then these two teams will do their last 20 minutes, barring overtime of the entire season, unless they met up in the Commissioner's Cup. Wow, big push over there by Hatham Oade. Takes down Kelly Curl. A little bit different than being in the broadcast booth there, as Hatham Oade seats him on the ice. No whistle. Osaka, left side blue line, dumps it back off to Holt. Stick goes flying in the air. How did Kelly Curl's stick do that? Glove went flying too. Where did that even come from?
You definitely could see how you could argue for a slash there, but it looked like it was just a normal stick lift, and Kerr kind of lost control of his stick that time, which is probably why there was no penalty called.
Osaka, good wrist shot there, bounces back out. 5 seconds left in the second period. We head to the Labatt Blue second intermission, and when we return, we'll bring you the updated score from Watertown and Delwa. A little extracurriculars here from Keenan and Curl.
Oh, I want to see the Kelly Curl fight, I really do, but I'm not sure that he would want to.
So they'll separate. I
don't think Kelly would get much out of that. I don't think there's any reason for him to drop the gloves today.
Pretty clean, all things considering, as this one came in already at a parboil. But as we head to the Labatt Blue second intermission, the Icebreakers add one, and it was Declan Conway's 28th and second of the game in the 7-minute mark. Fowler picks up his third point as well. A 2-goal lead, they say, is the most dangerous in hockey, though, as we have 20 more minutes left to play.
And this game's far from over. We'll see how the Thunderbirds respond. Really, it's just been such a long weekend, and only having 13 or 14 available skaters, it's going to be really a test to see what they can do here, top team in the FPHL.
Well, we're going to step away, Labatt Blues second intermission. When we come back, we'll bring you the next 20 minutes of hockey. Icebreakers with a 3-1 lead. You're going to want to stick around for this exciting conclusion. We'll be back. back to Menor Ice Arena where the score is the Icebreakers 3 and the Thunderbirds 1. 20 more minutes going to be up on the clock here momentarily. And Jared, let's take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard with one other game in action here. And that's the Watertown Wolves and the Delaware Thunder, an Eastern Division matchup in the FPHL.
Looks like Watertown actually took a 2-1 lead after falling behind 1-0. Last time we checked, it was midway through the second period. Now it's FPHL websites being the FPHL website, having some problems updating here, but it is 2-1 Watertown. Get you the goal scorers here really quick. Vladimir Port and Jamie Lucas for the Watertown Wolves both scored.
Ryan Marker had the earlier one for Delaware. Watertown out shooting 32-25. Now let's take a look at our saves of the period, brought to you by Vitamix and the Vitamix blenders.
Going back to that Watertown really quick, the Wolves really had some tough times lately, obviously trading away Tyler Urich, but now they're on the cusp of a 3-game sweep on the weekend on the road in Delaware.
I haven't quite figured out that trade. The more I thought about it, half of the players didn't even come to report. That trade just got more boggling when I looked at it, but
I'm sure there's some things going on in the locker room that fans don't necessarily know about that contribute to moves like that.
But the Vitamix saves of the period is always the saves brought to you by Vitamix. From practices to game day, our blenders help you fuel your performance and feed your life. 9 saves apiece for the 2 goalies, Mullen and Brandt. And Jordan Brandt has looked solid so far with that Thunderbird offensive unit, but the Thunderbirds much more used to score shots on goal in the 30 and 40 range. Currently at 23, tied up with the Icebreakers. So the teams have taken back to the ice, 20 minutes, back up on the board, and they will switch sides once again. Just like the first period, it'll be the white, red, and black Thunderbirds with the red numbers moving left to right, the stripes along the back center. And the Icebreakers in the double blue will move right to left with the light blue and white trim and white numbers. 3-1 lead, but a dangerous 2-goal scenario. But you gotta like it if you are a fanatic. A lot of players sitting out for both sides due to suspensions or injuries, including top draw guy for Menor, Nate Farrington. He is a leader on the team. And we are back underway here at Menor Ice Arena as the Icebreakers trying to make sure they can protect this lead. It is 3-1 right now, 19:42 left in the third period. Carolina winning the first 2 and every game so far of the season series. 16-2 overall. Icebreakers looking to make something happen. Almost get that one into the left corner off of the Keenan wrist shot. And the Thunderbirds now looking to counter. Trying to center that one to Panachik. But the Icebreakers get in their own defensive zone over the circle. Glove down there by Fowler. Intercepted. Krivalovic winds up, goes wide right. Looking to turn up the pressure here in the Icebreaker zone. Push forward off the edge of his stick. Jackson Tucker. Oh, they got a little ahead of him. He would have had a 1-on-0. Now he cuts back. Left circle wind up and just misses left side. Nice second effort there by Tucker.
Yeah, I wish Tucker could have put one home there just to reward him for that effort. That was a heck of a job poking the puck around the Thunderbirds defender just to create that breakaway chance.
And he's from Matthews, North Carolina. I wonder how close that is to Winston-Salem, but the only Icebreaker from North Carolina, the home of these Thunderbirds. Holt now goes right to left. Good pass to Kelly Curl. Yeah, we said it right. Kelly Curl at forward today for the Thunderbirds. Signed on. Normally color commentary alongside Drew Blevins, but today, and he boards up hard there with Alex Morrow.
There's Kelly throwing the body around. I like it.
Kelly Curl's a big guy. He normally would be between the pipes for the Thunderbirds, but again, playing forward today. So no stat line for him offensively. 0-1 on the year in the goal. And a whistle on the ice at 17:59 here on this Sunday Fun Day.
This one's going to go against the Icebreakers. Looks like might be Dmitry Danilyuk. The high sticking call.
So it is Brody Duncan out for 15 games. Michael Bunn out for 5. Blake Nada out a game. Jan Salak out a game for the Thunderbirds. Connor Haas out a game. And then stemming from Friday was Everett Thompson and Jay Kenny. Thompson will still have 3 more games out, and Kenny will be back after today's contest. We'll do a draw down the right circle, and that's why you look at depleted benches is part of the reason. Then you throw in injuries being just over midseason. It's that time of the year when a lot of roster moves happen, the call-ups and everything else that go alongside it. Vlasov now feeds it right to left. Now it's to Bakor. High sticking the call against Danieluk. So for the next minute 36, Icebreakers back on the penalty kill, and a good time for Carolina to try to crack this down to a 3-2 lead. Martin now fakes the windup, feeds it center to Vlasov. Now left side to Bakor, outside that circle, trying to get it to the slot. Flips into the air like a high quarter, glove down by Panachek. Oh man, that's the second time.
It's okay. It's okay. It happens.
Vlasov now left side to Martin. Martin swings, shoots, and knocks back out. 1:07 left in the penalty kill.
Yeah, Thunderbirds have spent this entire power play in the Icebreakers zone with no face-offs, no stoppages yet.
Now outside that left circle, that one winds up, and that just snuck into the corner. That looked like it was on a string and it was pulled into the right corner. Was that one of the strangest looking shots you've seen, Jared?
I'm not even sure I saw the puck. That was kind of bizarre, but either way,
it's like
it's a one-goal
puppeteered
game.
it to the net. Wow, the Thunderbirds do score on the penalty kill. And just like that, it's a 1-goal lead and still 16:54. Left side, like on a rope there to the right corner. We'll see who got that one off because I didn't expect it to go in. It was kind of just
I think it was Joe Osaka on that goal, so that's his 6th goal on the weekend, assuming that it is credited to him. But that was just kind of a weird play, a pretty good bounce for Carolina, and that's just what they needed to get back into this game.
And it is Joe Osaka with his 10th goal. He joins the double-digit club. Vlasov on the assist, as is Daniel Martin. So 3-2, and Jared, we talked about this off-air during the Labatt Blues second intermission, was that first 8 minutes or so especially was going to be, can Menor avoid Carolina's surge to start the period? And Carolina does score within 4 minutes. So, and this one will be icing against Menor as they cleared the length of the ice. If your coach don't get squad, you almost need to take a giant collective deep breath because Carolina is going to try to keep that puck down in your zone and make you pay for a mistake.
Man, I have a feeling that the Icebreakers are going to need more than 3 goals to win this game, as Carolina's extremely motivated right now. For as shorthanded or as gassed as they probably are right now, they're really motivated to win this game, especially after what happened at the end of last night's game.
Well, here's the thing. Regardless of what sport it is, when you're used to winning, you find ways to win even when you have some things dealt against you. So 3-2, they're telling their team, hey, we're only down 1, all these things aside. Now, Menor a bit shorthanded as well, but less familiar with the winning ways in their second season. Has a much improved effort this year, as they had 17 wins overall last year, 1 in overtime, so 18 total, but only 14 this year. Menor still trying to develop that winning culture, and a whistle down there, I believe, is going to go against the Icebreakers.
Yeah, that was Dmitry Danieluk, took his man down, and he's going to go right back to the penalty box. The untimely penalties from Dmitry here.
He spent a lot of time in the box here at the start, the couple minutes of the third period. So Osaka picking up his 10th goal. And Jared, that now makes him the 7th active Thunderbird in double-digit goals. That is a lot of offense.
And Joe Osaka is one of those guys that's had some trouble staying healthy this year, but when he's been on the ice, he's been a force. He's got, I think, 15 points now in 16 games. Have to double-check that really quick.
Well, he had 16 coming into today, and so he's at least at 17. I don't know if he was credited on the assist earlier. I don't believe so. So at least at 17, and he's played in half the games as all of the other guys in double digits, as Martin, Krivolovic, Klinetsky, Bunn, Salak, and Panachek all have, I don't know why the light is on down there. That confused me, and gloved there by Brandt. But they all have played about double the amount of games, as 26, the second least of the top scores from Bunn.
I don't think the goal judge realizes the light is on. Might be some kind of issue with the button.
So it is Salak who is sitting out today with the 1-game suspension, leading the way with 18 goals. And then Panachek with 16 are your top 2 Thunderbirds. It's just a continuous goal here for the Thunderbirds at this point.
Never ending. Good job, Carolina. You did it.
They've now done it all. And it's off. The goal is off. 1:49 left in the penalty kill. But we've talked about this too, Jared. The Icebreakers have to become more disciplined and can't give up penalties, especially in this untimely third period when you're trying to nurse a lead against a top visiting team in the Thunderbirds.
Yeah, and I think in addition to the lack of offense throughout this kind of rough stretch the Icebreakers have been on, those penalties have been such an issue. The penalty kill unit's been pretty good still, but when you take so many penalties, it just makes it so tough on your penalty killers.
The Icebreakers are looking for their third win of the 2020 portion. Oh, and that one sneaks in. Panachik gets the deflection down their right side. We'll find out which Thunderbird it was that got it, but Panachik set it up with the wrist shot there from the right side of the blue line, and it has been a bad start to the third period for the guys in double blue. Multiple trips to the box and multiple goals put the light back on. The Thunderbirds all of a sudden have tied it up at 3 and have all of the momentum.
And that was Daniel Martin with a beautiful tip in front that beat Brand. He didn't really give him much of a chance. That puck was deflected so quickly, and all of a sudden we got a tie game early in the third period.
And Jared, only a minute and a half apart from the last goal, was scored at 16:54. Panachik sets this one up right side. And the deflection goal by Daniel Martin. So Daniel Martin picks up his 16th goal and now is tied with Peter Panachik. And Vlasov credited on the double assist. So Vlasov's added 2 assists this period.
Like we said, it's going to take more than 3 goals to win this game.
And I agreed with you. They needed more than 3 goals, I believe, even at 3-1, that they would have at least needed one more. And now, obviously 3-3, but you look, the numbers all going their way. The Thunderbirds, with the power play goal for the second time in just over 5 minutes, have now taken the 30-25 shot and goal advantage. And this is uncharted territory, much more for Jordan Brandt than it is Mullen, who has got a couple shutout victories in his 3 wins so far. So we'll see if Menor can respond. Perk sends that one deflecting off the right skate, and now looking for the deflection. Mullen, though, can have a little bit more comfortability as he has a tied game. It's 0-0 for lack of a better terms, with 14 even left here in the third period of play. Now, if you're Coach Duncan's squad, what is the big adjustment you have to make at this point? Because there has to be some sort of adjustment made in these next couple of minutes.
I mean, you just got to stay out of the penalty box. That's how they scored both those goals. Dimitri Downow, back-to-back penalties, really hurting his team in the third period.
Taylor with a good feed to Pinkowski, who got it off the edge of his stick. Deflected back out there by Mullen. Now Mullen taps it to Grebenikov. And we are under 14 minutes. Thunderbirds have owned the third period, and a whistle on the ice, I believe, will be offsides against the Thunderbirds.
You know, I was going to mention on that earlier Thunderbirds power play, the first one they scored on, that their power play unit's been kind of middle of the road this season. I just thought that in my head. I didn't want to say it out loud because I knew I would jinx it, and I think that thought actually is what led to these back-to-back power play goals. So
you do have some mental strength, Jared. I am impressed.
Yeah, the hockey gods are punishing me for thinking that. I can't think that anymore. You know, that's a lesson I've learned now.
You did almost blow the game against the Rumblebees on Monday.
That was a close call.
And then Mark Ezery stepped up and got the third period hat trick. Right now, men are just looking to get 1 goal in the third period as they had the 3-1 lead. They scored the lone second period goal, and the puck continues to go coast to coast from net to net, and that will draw the whistle at 13:05. Now, tomorrow's Monday, and the weekend isn't over because of that fact. You might be at work or in school, but your mind's still on weekend time. That's why at Moe's, we've got burrito specials that will make you feel like it's still a lazy Sunday, even though it isn't. So end the weekend with Mo Monday and visit us at our Menor 2 locations, South Euclid or Mayfield stores. Welcome to Moe's. I want to thank you for listening wherever you're listening. Appreciate the listenership by the Thunderbird fans as well as Icebreaker fans or anywhere else in the league. There's only 2 games going on today. Rovic sends one out that deflects to Bacor. And the Watertown Wolves and Delaware Thunder watching their game. And the Wolves took a 2-1 lead. Look for the deflection. Tim Perks. Conway was there too. And he could have picked up a quiet hat trick. Now, Osaka takes a spill to the ice from the hit from Jarovic.
The Icebreakers will be heading to their power play here. Didn't see what the penalty was. We'll get the call from the ref.
Oh, big board up
Carolina
there from
touches
Cangelosi to Fowler in front of us. At 12:36 remaining, we'll see who will be going to the box. Also want to thank the Ridge PTA for the ceremonial puck drop here before the game and the national anthem by the top 25 show choir Mentor High School. The Cardinals play their hockey here and just won the Pioneer Classic down in Columbus last weekend with a 5-2 victory over Olentangy Orange, a Columbus powerhouse. Mentor Ice Arena also home to the Notre Dame Cathedral Latin Lions and the Lake Catholic High School Cougars, as well as the North Coast Collision, several skating programs, and of course your Mentor Icebreakers. A lot of action here at Mentor Ice Arena. And it's Cangelosi in the box for 1:53 now. Boarding will be the call.
Well, that does make sense. That was a pretty hard board. I think you could put on, it was Declan Conway for the Icebreakers down in the near side corner.
Icebreakers now on the Lake Health power play. Again, want to thank Chris Lewis, Rashawn Bailey, Cassie Mann, and Malia Harwood, as well as Lake Health for providing medical staff and training facilities throughout the whole season. And for today's game, Peshtuka, nobody there, home right side. Fanatics getting into it here. Good crowd here on a Sunday fun day. Special. Brant comes out of the net. He better get ready. Kuletsky skates in, and oh my, that could have been the lead-taking goal, and a hard smash there of Morrow into the boards as he was trying to help out his goalie. But Brant came out a little bit too far, and Klinetsky didn't wait for him to get back in the net.
Yeah, Mark Essery got there a little bit too early trying to get to a puck in the Carolina zone. He's going to pay the price. Probably going to be an interference call or a cross-check. His official call from the official. I like that. Good call from the official.
Yeah.
Didn't even try to do that one.
11:46 now remaining in the third period. It's Carolina on a 2-goal stretch, 2 unanswered. A slam gets the Fanatics into it here at Mentor Ice Arena. Final time these two teams will play, so the Icebreakers will be done with 3 of the 7 opposition teams for the year. And Esri is the man going to the box, or already in the box. So 1:51. So again, about a 50-second advantage. Before it was 40 seconds. So Carolina, in about a minute's time, will have that 50-second advantage. Now trying to get it to the far corner. Icebreakers able to get it back into the neutral zone. Fowler beats his man. No, Panachik strips him of the puck. Crosses blue line. Wrist shot. Bounces back out, and a whistle at 11:15 remaining. So 1:29 against Vlasov. Or Esri, excuse me, and 39 seconds left against Cangelosi. And one thing for sure, Jared, is they have to limit the trips to the box.
Yeah, another one of those untimely penalties there by Mark Esri, which is kind of unfortunate because you can tell it wasn't intentional. But at the end of the day, he got there before the puck did, so that's textbook penalty, either interference or cross-checking, which is what they ultimately called.
So as we approach the midway point here in the third period, it'll be interesting. Icebreakers are 0-2 in extra time this year. Actually haven't had a game decided in overtime. Both went to the shootout where they've yet to score. Carolina 1-1 on the year. So the Icebreakers had 1 overtime win last year, but 0-3 on their 2 years in shootout territory. Oh, and fine, Osaka here. It was a bit behind him, or else Osaka could have slammed it home from the slot, but instead Holt winds up and sends that wrist shot hard off the back glass at 10:39, and another whistle. We talked about it earlier, Jared. We were hoping, though, this game would stay in check, and for at least, knock on wood, as far as right now, the referees have done a good job keeping this one in key.
Well, I'm not sure how you just leave Joe Osaka on the back door right there. There were 3 Icebreakers in front of the net, and somehow Osaka broke free, had a great look at the net. That's the guy that's been killing you all weekend. That can't happen at this point in the game.
Now, the Prowlers obviously aren't exactly as hype as the Thunderbirds in the Western Division, but I almost feel like the Prowlers and Thunderbirds are built a bit similarly, where they have so many offensive weapons. You look down their scoring line, and if you double up on one guy, there's another guy, and then there's a guy following him. Many weapons for those two teams. They both wear red, white, and black. Would you say that sort of a similar makeup where there's so many guys you just have to deal with, as we'll be playing the Prowlers quite a bit coming up as well?
Yeah, and they're the deepest team in the league for a reason. You're seeing it today. They've got a tie game, and they're only dressed in 14 skaters.
Yep. And now they try to get it to Panachik slot. Get it back to him at the circle. He feeds it to Bakor. Bakor winds up. That one bounces hard off the backboards. And the Thunderbirds on the 27-second penalty kill. Stuart Dant racing between his 2-man, playing pickle in the middle here on the ice. Now from the slot, Panachik trying to set up a deflection shot. Good job by Jordan Brandt. And he does a butterfly save there. That was Jordan Brandt keeping the Thunderbirds off the scoreboard that time.
A pretty solid game for Brandt today. At least one of those goals you can't really fault him for. Of course, that first shot by, I think it was Panachik in the first period, obviously he wants that one back, but overall it's been a pretty solid outing.
Brandt one save away, or no, he gets it there on that one, 30 saves. He got 30 saves in the win against Battle Creek on Monday. That only played a bit of the first period on Friday. It was Frankie McClendon playing the rest of the way, so we have yet to see Frankie McClendon here at Menor Ice Arena. That trade made on Wednesday, sending over Chad Herron, who is not dressing with the team today, but will now be with the Thunderbirds. Nitch applying the forecheck there. And we never got to see Chad Herron in the trade, but now Frankie McClendon, kind of a residual from that Columbus trade.
I think Herron will fit in nicely, a big-bodied forward that can score. Fitting real nice with this Carolina team.
Not that they need it anymore, but yeah,
exactly.
They just add more to the fold. I mean, next man up, that one deflects off the pads of Mullen. Both goalies done pretty well tonight, with all things considering. That long trip back, I believe the Thunderbirds came to Menor Ice Arena in the 5 o'clock hour this morning. So that's a tough thing for both teams, having to come back an 8+ hour drive from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Carolina looking for that lead-taking goal. Definitely knocking on that door. Now the feed up to Esri, but it went behind him. Backhand pass, gets it left side to Fowler, who's having a nice game. He'll get it to Dmitry Daniela, the Belarus native, trying to make something happen. Has spent a couple times in the box now trying to help his team out offensively. Behind the net, Esri's got multiple Thunderbirds to contend with, and they were able to clear it. Now down to Osaka, who skates free, separation, and gets the shot off there, as he did a nice job getting some separation from Tim Perks.
You know, for all the penalties that have been called in this game, I was a little bit surprised to see Stephen Fowler was tripped behind the Thunderbirds net a few seconds ago. Surprised to see that wasn't called.
Taylor winds up, bounces off the left pad there, and Jared, with 3 people chiming in for the epic conclusion of this game, we have now had our top listenership for any Icebreaker game at home, so we do appreciate everybody listening, visiting fans, home fans, or just neutral fans checking out a Sunday game. Icebreakers 3-3. It was a 3-1 lead for Menor coming into this period, but Carolina has stamped their foot down and skated hard on a 2-goal unanswered stretch. A whistle here at 7:42.
You know, a lot of these icing calls against the Thunderbirds at this point in the game, really, it's not a bad thing because it gives all your guys a little bit of a chance to rest when you only have, 2, not even 3 full lines of forwards to roll out.
It's probably the best whistle to hear against Icebreakers. It doesn't send the guy to the box, which they've had plenty of. Allows you to reset, and it keeps it from hitting twine, which has been the problem here this third period. Thunderbirds have done it on a Joe Osaka and Daniel Martin goal. Osaka's 10th of the year, joined the double-digit club. And Daniel Martin's 16th, good to tie him with Panachik for the team lead. And Hatham Owaden, we haven't seen him for a while, winds up with the wrist shot, and it's gloved down, immediately put into play by Mullen. We're in 7:30 territory left here in the third period. Will be interesting to see, can either team crack forward. Cangelosi with another board. He's had 2 hard boards here right in front of Slam. Best mascot in the FPHL. And Bakor now sends it right to left. He gets that feed over to Grebenikov and skates right in between the pads of Brandt, but he won't let it slide through. 7:10 remaining now on this Sunday Fun Day, and we want to remind you, if you're looking for the ultimate experience, check out the Founders Room. Tickets start at $30. You'll be able to meet and greet Coach Ian Duncan and Icebreakers players at each and every home game. Tickets start at just $30 and available at menoricebreakers.com or by calling 440-290-8502. Want to thank our off-ice officials, Scott Tennant, Greg Butala, Daniel Savitz, Greg Kopp, Fred Hare, Russ Harala, Joe Knight, and Brandon Cottis. Frank Schmidt, operations intern through Menor High School Business Program, and Taylor Ruyer, game day operations. Larry Rummel, El Moon, and Lawrence Rummel on the sound crew. Jared Tennant, communications manager and color commentator. And on the video stream, Casey Hilly, intern through Auburn Career Center Interactive Multimedia Technology Program. The score is all netted up at 3. 34-29 shot on goal advantage here as trivia time during the official timeout, and with just under midway through left in the third period, Menor has started to play a little bit better hockey after the first half has gone Carolina's way. We'll see how they come out of the timeout. Do you find these next couple minutes to be very critical for Coach Duncan's squad, Jerry?
Yeah, you cannot give one up at this point. It's two keys right now. The biggest one is stay out of the box. You can't get this Thunderbirds power play unit, which has a ton of momentum, scoring 2 power play goals just under 2 minutes apart in this period. You don't want to give them another chance.
So the faceoff will be left defensive circle in front of Jordan Brandt. And looks like Panachik may take the draw for Carolina. Officials sorting out the last. They'll go up against veteran Thomas Stewart-Dant. An immediate whistle 1 second in. They got a one-timer off, but a whistle before the shot. That came off of the stick there of Krivolovic, who scored the opening goal for Carolina.
It's too bad that save didn't count for Jordan Brink. That was a nice little flash of the leather.
Well, Krivolovic does it again. It was deja vu. Winds up, rebound. Klenetsky, and bounce back out there. How did Krivolovic basically showed us an instant replay there?
Yeah, and Jordan Brand was up for the challenge both times. First time had the nice glove, and then nice little kick save to keep that puck out of the danger area.
So now we'll move over parallel to the right defensive circle, and it'll be Krivolovic and Tim Perks taking the draw. No Nate Farrington today on the injury list today. Klenetsky winds up. The low save by Brand is getting tested. That official timeout was with 7:10 remaining. It has only been 12 seconds, and Carolina's rattled off 3 shots on goal during that time.
Yeah, they've kind of taken control in that category, 35-29 now, which is really a testament to just how deep this team is. I said it I feel like so many times throughout this broadcast, but really, I mean, you only dress 13 guys. It's pretty incredible.
And Rhoda Bush did most of the work all year. He led the league in minutes until his injury, played every minute available. So Jordan Brand has been immediately tested, thrown out against some of the best teams in the FPHL and having to do most of the work. Of course, Frankie McClendon added this Wednesday.
Good to see Brandt rebounding from a tough outing on Friday night. Gave up a couple of goals and only 7 shots in the first 5 minutes before he was yanked for McClendon.
And I wondered how he would respond, because sometimes that could be part of the mental game if you get pulled, especially mid-first period. But he has responded pretty well tonight. Vlasov would have probably had a great chance at a one-timer from the left circle, but that pass was out of his reach. And 6:25 remaining, tied up at 3. Both teams looking to break open the tie, and if it doesn't, it would be both teams' third trip to overtime. It'd be Menner's first try to get a result in a win during the regular portion of overtime. Morrow will send that one down. No, it's deflected off the stick of George Holt. Henry Berger, back from suspension, gets it over right side to Danieluk, who will be content to dump it behind the net. 5:53 remaining here in the third period. Glove down at center ice. Danieluk, though, he didn't see Osaka. He wasn't waiting for her to let him see where that bounce would fall, and is able to get it to Martin. Martin will send that one ricocheting off the backboards, tries to get it in play to Cangelosi. Danieluk gets there first. Esri was going for the behind-the-back stick handle. Now it's Danieluk feeding it to Esri in the neutral zone. He takes a bit of a stick there from Holt. Esri recovers, and Daniel Martin, though, will cut him off with the diagonal angle, cuts back, and, Stewart-Dant, good job deflecting it, but he may have taken a shot to the face there as he is holding his chin area.
Yeah, obviously unintentional there, but Stewart-Dant just took a really hard stick to the face there. I'm sure there's some blood.
Yeah, he will have to skate off. Hopefully, Stewart-Dant all right. 5:15 remaining in a 3-3 game. He's trying to shake it off. He skates all the way behind Brent there.
Yeah, that one might take a few stitches in the locker room to repair. Just took a little lap to skate it off.
You know, it's crazy. You know, you see something like that, unintentional, and obviously didn't need the help of walking off. He'll be attended to now, but you got to think from up here, you're like, oh yeah, it didn't seem too crazy, but down there, I'm sure that is immensely painful.
I mean, the intent or lack thereof does not make it hurt any less.
No, it doesn't. Wind up there from Andre Nitsch wearing number 9. So he actually makes it 9 Czech Republic players as Jurovic takes a spill in the slot there in front of Brandt. Andre Nitsch, he's done well when he's suited up for his own team. He had an assist in his only game played this year, but has picked up points in most of the games he's taken to the ice last year as well. Held pointless so far in today's game, but it's been a good part of the flow out there. Under 5 minutes to play, third period, still tied up at 3. Fowler has had a good game, speaking of good games for the Icebreakers. And good to see Fowler returning more back to speed. He was picked up last January by Mentor and immediately was a major contributor, scoring the first shorthanded goal in school team history, as well as a few other milestones for him. And he was a great offensive boom, but now just coming back from injury, finding his rhythm again, especially with the call-ups and trades. Pashtuka trying to work it back. That one goes hard all the way back the length of the ice where Keenan will chase it down as Pashtuka was boarded up on the far boards.
Seems like this period is just flying by ever since those 2 power play goals by the Thunderbirds. 4 minutes to go already.
Pashtuka volleys that one off the top of his stick, and he was looking to get that pass to Esri, but now Cangelosi on the fast break. He's got Osaka center, gets it to him. No, good cutoff off the stick there of Pashtuka. Former Thunderbird saves a possible 1-on-0 look there. And all of a sudden, Jared, you are right. 3:53 remaining in a very fast-moving third period. Bounces off the pads there, and a rebound pushed back into play. Morrow takes a spill from George Holt. Holt, the very physical presence, takes Morrow down in the circle. Mullen will come out to retrieve it and feed that one back out to Martin. 3:38 remaining in the third period of play here from Mentor Ice Arena. One of 2 games going on today. Carolina, the only team in the Western Division in action. There'll be a Wednesday game coming up in the FPHL, but right now on Sunday, fun day, both teams looking for a win. Mentor looking to avoid the season and series sweep. Nitch is found right side blue line. He'll cut back. Looking for Panachik. Panachik stick clash there with Danieluk, and he'll force him behind the net. Danieluk, good board up there. Rebound shot from the slot. That was from Krivolovic, but it bounces back out. Now off the skate. Can Tucker push it forward? He did that last period. Back to Pinkowski on the change, and now feed over to Hatham Awade with the wrist shot and the breadbasket save. And I've noticed from Hatham Awade, he usually has a pretty quick release and likes to get either those one-timers or wrist shots. And with Brody Duncan going to be out for 15 games, he, along with Pashtuka, 2 of the players that will bring that from the blue line.
I wouldn't be surprised to see if one of the Icebreakers forwards might maybe plays a little bit more defense over the next few weeks or so as Brody serves that suspension, because he played such a key role. It's going to be hard to fill that.
So now all of a sudden, 2:48 remaining. That puck hanging out behind the net, and Mullen can hear it bouncing off the back of the twine behind the net. A whistle there, though. He's like high on alert there, because he's like, I hear the net, I hear the net. It's on the opposite side, though, but good awareness there by Mullen, the former Rumblebee. Played over 1,000 minutes coming into today's game, most of those for the yellow and black attack, now donning the red, white, and black for Carolina. And, almost a shot there to score from the slot. Would have been Declan Conway. He's looking for a hat trick. We saw a hat trick here at the last game for Mentor Ice Arena. Now Osaka had a hat trick last night. Going for the deflection to Cangelosi. And a whistle there. I'm not sure if the net became a little unhinged.
I think the net might have came a little bit off the pegs that time. Jordan Brandt was heading over to the side to make that save.
And the officials make sure that will be sturdy here for the conclusion of today's game. Once again, thanks for joining us. Hope you're having a nice weekend and Sunday afternoon, making the FPHL a part of your lazy Sunday afternoon. Go to Moe's Monday tomorrow if you're in the area. Great specials there at Moe's, including 2 locations here in Mentor. Diaz loses his footing. Now at the blue line, Cangelosi will reset. It's Panachik to Cangelosi. Diaz will flip it forward to Conway. He's got Fowler. Oh, good skate over there by Klinetsky. Good scoring defenseman for Carolina. Meanwhile, it's Watertown all over Delaware, 5-1 now after Delaware scored first. Here it was Carolina scoring first. Now 3-3. Klinetsky and Fowler board up, but good job by both guys to just walk away. 37-30 shot on goal advantage. Minute 51 remaining. Fanatics getting into it here. And it is Keenan skating behind the net. He'll take the hard board from Holt. Holt definitely a physical presence for the Thunderbirds. That goes high off the stick of Keenan. Panachik feeds it forward to Krivolovic, his fellow Czech Republic native. Krivolovic will skate back, get it back, blue line to Panachik. Panachik sends it to the slot, bounces back out. Minute 27 remaining. Center ice stolen. Mullen's got a breakaway. Man to beat. Glove save made by Mullen. And then a bit of a collision into the net, but they will separate. And Morrow had the nice read there, but glove save, he He needed to go opposite side there for a goal.
I don't think he really got the shot that he was looking for there. He just kind of put it right in Mullins' breadbasket, made it easy on him.
He had the breakaway he needed, but he did not get the angle, and that'll keep it a 3-3 game. What an intense finish here on this Sunday afternoon. Keep it with us. Overtime looming in the air, but still a minute and 20 to play. Pinkowski tangled up there, trying to free it. Carolina able to find their outlet man. Joe Osaka, the Pittsburgh native, will send it the length of the ice, and that'll be a whistle against Carolina. Minute 7 left, and the squad here for Coach Ian Duncan has stepped it up at the right time still with Carolina to contend with, but after a rough start to the third period, I would say an improved effort from the guys in double blue.
Well, it helps they haven't really taken those penalties they were taking early in the third. I saw a couple of times that guys kind of let up a little bit just to avoid the call, because the officials been calling a ton of penalties. They're calling the game pretty tight today, so you have to be extra careful, especially in this situation.
Under a minute to play. Martin crosses over, sends that one, bounces back off the stick of Daniel. 55 seconds. Carolina in the zone here of the Icebreakers. A lot of action there, and it is Brandt trying to just pull it in there as everybody was trying to just tip it into the net on that left side.
So unless the Icebreakers can score a goal in the last 49 seconds of regulation, they're going to lose a little bit of ground on Watertown as the Wolves won 5-1, or headed towards a 5-1 win over Delaware.
Icebreakers will take a timeout here in the 49-second mark, but at the same time, worrying about Watertown and Elmira ahead of you as well as the hat tricks, you almost, if your men are okay with picking up some points and Delaware doesn't, as still much of that season series to be played. The Thunder have been an improving team, still at the basement of the Eastern Division, but not a bad team in Harrington, Delaware.
Oh, and they have a ton of talent on that team. You look at Ryan Marker, that's as good a player as there is in this league.
Is he the official league leader?
League leading goal scorer, not in points, but you look at the division standings right now, Delaware is 20 points behind the Icebreakers, and I think men are kind of lucked out this weekend, dropping those two to the Thunderbirds, at least two. We'll see what happens after this one, but Delaware also dropped all 3 of their games, so didn't lose any ground, still holds on to that 4th seed with a pretty big lead.
Other than the away game on Sunday, March 1st at Danville, every game going forward for the rest of the season will be versus an Eastern Division team. Elmira, Delaware, Danbury, Watertown, and Elmira to finish the season. A lot of points to be had. Right now, a lot of hockey still left. 45 seconds left. Daniel Martin, left circle. He is being guarded by Conway. Sends it around the net into you. Carolina trying to work it to the slot where Cangelosi is camped. Oh, they had him, but they sent the pass behind him, and it'll be Bacor chasing that puck down. 32.3 seconds left. He cycles all the way back as he feels the forecheck from Fowler. And that one, I believe, went out of play, or whistle on the ice. Couldn't quite see as it got stuck there in that corner with 27.1 seconds left. 37-31 shot on goal advantage of the Thunderbirds, but we are all tied up at 3.
Now, I'm really glad we're seeing this kind of competitive, intense game rather than, some kind of all-out brawl that some people were expecting tonight. I think both these two teams understood that that wasn't something that would benefit anybody, and this is more of kind of what you like to see as a fan.
Yeah, I am grateful. It has been a good game to call from both teams. Good swings of momentum. 21 seconds left. Daniel cycles it back to Henry Berger. Berger finds Esri ahead of his man. Official jumps out of the way. 15 seconds left. Vosov now sends it to the corner. Krivolovic, 10 seconds left. Looking to get it to outlet to Nitsch. He could have been a hero here, but that went off a Menor stick. 4 seconds left. Daniel flies it in the air. Bounces right side of the net, and only 0.4 seconds left.
Yeah, I think this face-off in the Icebreaker zone will be kind of more of a formality. You don't really have much time to get a shot off with only 0.4 seconds unless they adjust the clock.
I will tell you, Jared, as Carolina owned the start of this third period, I am impressed with Menor's resolve here, because against the top team clearly in the FPHL, let alone the Western Division, that could have been the final hand dealt, and Menor could have crumbled under pressure. But over the last 7 minutes, they have definitely improved their style of play on the ice.
And I think from both sides, I think there's some good things. Look at the Thunderbirds. They're playing so short-handed just to be in this game and playing so competitively with a chance to win. I mean, that's huge. That's a testament to their depth from the Icebreakers' perspective. You're playing, neck and neck with the top team in the league who's beat you how many times in a row now. It's really a good game from both sides.
0.4 seconds on the clock, and I got to give credit to Andre Nitsch. I can't believe he got that shot off the draw, and it went just wide right. But for the third time this season, both teams will go to overtime. So the rules for overtime, as the Icebreakers and Thunderbirds haven't been there much this year, it is 3-on-3 hockey for 5 minutes, and then it'll go to a shootout if needed. So Menor has not had very much luck in overtime. And with Carolina's depth and their ability to change, now this is in favor of Carolina, I would say, because with the tired legs, you don't have to feel 5 guys out on the ice.
Yeah, I think I would agree with that at this point in the game.
So the Icebreakers, 3-3. They had the 3-1 lead heading into the third period. 37-31 shot on goal advantage. 28 saves on the day for a combined effort from Mullen and Polivka. 34 for Jordan Brandt. Brandt looking for his 4th win of the season, as is Jacob Mullen. He went from the hive to the nest and looking for a win. He's got a couple shutouts wearing white, red, and black. So we'll see what happens here. But with 3-on-3 hockey, Jared, we were talking about, the Thunderbirds can easily stretch defensively to offensively because they've got a lot of defensemen with an offensive flavor to them.
Yeah, but at the same time, I think the Icebreakers, you throw out Stephen Fowler, Declan Conway, and really any defenseman throw in those 2 guys, and you look pretty good and have a pretty good chance in overtime. But, Icebreakers really haven't had much success in overtime in their history. They've never, I think they might have had that 1 overtime goal.
1 overtime win.
Oh, the shootout win, so they've never won.
No, we've never, no, hold on.
Okay, you're right. It was a breakaway in overtime.
Yes, they've never won in a shootout. Their first shootout was back on March 30th against Elmira, and they've lost in their efforts this year. But their overtime win, let's see, I'll pull that up for you in a second if I can read my own handwriting. It was March 10th. Oh, of course. The March 10th, your first broadcast, 8-7 over Danville when we added 2 goals in the final minute, one from Tommy Mahoney, former Carolina Thunderbird, and then it was Parker Moskal, current Columbus River Dragon, who skated free on the breakaway. That's the only Icebreaker overtime win, came just under a year ago, about 10 months, and Menor has yet to win in a shootout or yet to score. So if you are Coach Duncan's squad, what do you think is a better chance here, the 3-on-3 or the shootout?
I mean, if I was the Icebreakers, I'd be taking chances in overtime and trying to score because you've had no success in the shootout. And I'm sure mentally it kind of wears on you when you go through 9 or 10 shooters and nobody can get through on 2 different sets of goalies. We had Jesse Gordachuk with the Danville Dashers.
Although he was having the game of his life. Great goalie, but called up as well to the SPHL. Now, only thing I'm wondering, though, is the shootout. Mullen was not waking up today thinking he was going to be in a shootout today, as he didn't get the start with Polivka coming in. So the thing I worry most for Menor is if they get over-aggressive in trying to score, do they get caught out of position at the other end of the ice?
I think just with their history in shootouts at this point, you want to take risks and you want to try to do everything you can to get that goal. And if Carolina sneaks one through, then so be it. But you want to take those risks.
Well, that's why they play all the game. 4:51 now. Panachik to Bakor, and that one will skate back out off the deflection. 4:45 here in extra time. Thanks for keeping it with us on YouTube.com. Yeah, you're home and away home for all Menor Icebreakers game. An exciting conclusion here today from Northeast Ohio. The season series wrap-up. What a better way to end after the fiasco last night. A pretty clean game and overtime hockey. Just a good old-fashioned game today. 4:20 left. Martin tangled up with Esri, crosses the blue line. He was looking for his teammate flanking with him.
Yeah, well done by Esri there, avoiding the penalty too, just playing physically.
Got it to Krivolovic, who will feed it behind Martin. Martin chases it down. Just about the first minute now, and he'll cycle it all the way back to the neutral zone and reset here, 4 minutes even. Martin looking past Conway, and he winds up, takes a shot. Nice move by Martin. Looked like he was going to go wide right of that circle, but instead cut back in and snuck the shot off. And even better move there by Jordan Brandt to pick up the glove save. Does the Onway, Alberta, Canada native.
Daniel Martin was one of those key members to that Danville Dashers team last season that was so good at the beginning of the year before they just got absolutely ravaged by call-ups and injuries and were a different team for the rest of the season.
3:56 remaining here in overtime. 38-31 shot on goal advantage. Carolina almost able to sneak one in there from Panachik. He will try to get that back to Klinetsky, right side blue line. He'll feed it over now to Cangelosi. Good feet. Klinetsky's going to have a look at it and goes just over the top of the net. Cangelosi will chase it back down center ice to Panachik, and now the Czech Republic native will go all the way behind his own net as Daniel applies the forecheck. 3:30 remaining. They'll feed it outlet to Cangelosi, right wing. Cangelosi crosses blue line. He's got Panachik hanging out there near the slot. Morrow keeping him at bay. 3:20 here, bass drum kicking in an overtime game. Icebreakers looking for their first overtime win. Panachik, Morrow's keeping an eye on him. Morrow now. He's forechecked by Konetsky. He feeds it out right to Peshtuka. Oh, Peshtuka lost the stick and tries to kick it forward. Not a good play there. Lost control of it. Things a little out of sort here. Nitch has it. Stick is down. Icebreaker trying to retrieve it is Peshtuka. Not a good place to lose your stick at the zone. But now Danieluk has one man to beat, and it's head coach Nitch who waves down his teammate. Konetsky wind up, and a left glove save made there by Mullen. Oh, and Peshtuka lost his stick in the zone. That was a tough time to lose your stick.
I mean, that was just a tough play for Peshtuka. It looked like he kind of awkwardly was trying to make a quick decision, and when he was trying to clear it out of the zone, I think his stick might have snapped on him and left the Icebreakers at a 3-on-2 disadvantage, essentially. Lucky to get out of that one without any damage.
Yeah, they evade the goal, and now it'll be Ezri and Panachik from the right circle. 2:45 remaining in overtime. A fun game here today. I think you would agree, Jared.
Yeah, it's been a fun one to watch, a fun one to call.
Now Bakor, he's cuts hard there as Ezri backs off from the forecheck. Conway down there still. Thunderbirds will work it out, and they get it over to Osaka, who has a goal tonight. Beats his man Berger. Wind-up deflection, and if Panachik would have been just a bit back, he would have been able to get that one for the point. Ezri now skates across the blue line. Winds up deflection, and if Conway would have been a bit back, he would have got a look at it. But so goes overtime with 3-on-3. Hard to stay in perfect position. 2:12 now, and the wide pass left. Both teams on the change, both teams tired. Long night of travel. Stephen Fowler has a good night going from the circle. Drops it up for Diaz, who has yet to get a goal, but that's taken. Thunderbirds on the counter, looking to get it center, and it goes a bit wide right. Minute 52 remaining here from Menor Ice Arena on this Sunday afternoon, 3-3. Icebreakers haven't scored in the third period on. It's been 2 Carolina goals third period. Vlasov with a 360 move. Behind the net, turn, trying to get it in that right corner, and Brandt will pick it up. Boy, oh boy. Brandt had to be on his toes there as Carolina gets their 40th shot off stick.
I can't remember exactly what team it was, but Brandt was getting beat on that wraparound attempt. The exact same looking attempt a couple of times earlier in his Icebreakers tenure, but now twice today I've seen him make a great save on that wraparound.
So unfortunately for the Icebreakers, the draw will be down here, right defensive circle. Cangelosi and Oxford, Michigan native Tim Perks will take the draw. Exciting conclusion here in the best game on this Sunday in the FPHL. Morrow will skate towards the blue line. He crosses center, leaves it for Perks. We'll see what the Icebreakers do here. Minute 23, that pass out of reach went to Bakor, but good stick handling by Berger gets the puck back after an errant offensive play by Menor. Menor almost seems a little nervous here.
Yeah, definitely lucked out getting that puck back. That could have been a costly turnover.
Minute 7 remaining. Will we see a shootout, or will we see a goal here in the final minute? Under a minute now for Menor Ice Arena. So 55 seconds now. Daniel from outside that circle. And Morrow will skate back now on the change. Fowler better get ready because here comes Konetsky right off the change. 44 seconds, Konetsky. Good play there by Tim Perks to pick him up. Perks all over him, but now he loses Perks. Konetsky, center, he finds Osaka, who, had he not got spun around, probably would have got a clean look off. 29 seconds left. Wow, Jared, you could cut the tension with a butter knife here.
I mean, these miscommunications in the defensive zone for the Icebreakers are really keeping the play down on their end for pretty much all of this overtime period so far. It's only 15 seconds.
I see a bit of nerves here, a whistle on the ice with 14.3 seconds, but I think the Icebreakers seem a little nervous here.
That's another miscommunication. They got a too many men penalty just now. Mark Esser came out onto the ice too early before Chance Taylor could get off.
Coach Duncan not happy about that one in the waning seconds of the period, adding Esri for a fresh look offensive.
The good news for the Icebreakers is it's a bench minor, so they don't have to send. If you recall, the last shootout we had here, Stephen Fowler took a penalty at the end of the overtime period, and he couldn't shoot in the shootout, but this way they can pick a guy they're not going to use in the shootout.
And Fowler has the only penalty shot scored, or the first one for the Icebreakers last year, so he'd be a guy you'd want in there. So 2-minute minor. Chance Taylor will serve it, newest Icebreaker. 13.6 seconds, an immediate whistle on the ice to follow. Oh, this is tough, Jared, because you know coming into a series with Carolina, they have a good chance at doing some damage, but now a win within reach, you have to grasp up and take it.
Yeah, I mean, looks like I shouldn't say anything yet. Hold on.
Vlasov will dump it behind the net. Thank you, Jared. And now 8 seconds left. Carolina looking to set something up. Wind up, win for the deflection. Goes wide right. 3 seconds left. Chase down. They're in that far corner. 1 second left. And we're going to a shootout for the 3rd time this year and for the 2nd time at home ice, I believe. I believe one was away.
And now that it's safe to talk about a shootout, it's going to be interesting to see if guys like Stephen Fowler, Mark Essery, Declan Conway can just get anything going in this shootout. Had no success so far, and I'm sure everybody on that bench is aware of it.
So a good game here from Northeast Ohio, bustling suburb of Cleveland, where Mentor Cardinals have one of the state's best hockey teams at a 19-1, fresh off winning the Pioneer Classic. Several strong area teams in all sports. And here are the Icebreakers with the Fanatics to root them on as we get set for a shootout. It would be great to see Mentor not only win a shootout, but at least score a goal in one. They have struggled. They haven't been there many times in their young 1.5 years. What do you think Coach Duncan says as they're 0 for 9 on the shootout?
Well, I'm sure this is something they've practiced now, having been to 2 of them and not scoring a single goal on 9 attempts. I mean, it just wears on you mentally, but I'm sure this is something they've worked on in practice, and we'll see what they can pull out here.
Who do you think we'll see from Coach Duncan?
I would assume Pastuca, Fowler, Conway. Maybe Essery wouldn't surprise me either. He's been hot lately.
I wonder if even maybe a little too new team to the team, but does Hatham Away have a chance going out there?
I love Hatham, but I'm going to go ahead and shut that one down before you even think of that.
Well, it was just that he's got a pretty good wrist shot, so we'll see. Right now it's going to be Krivolovic for Carolina, who scored the first game. Krivolovic sees it at center ice, skates in, makes his way right side of the circle, skates in, outward, and Brent got it off the pad, but it goes right into the back corner. Thunderbirds take the 1-zip lead so far. So Jared is right. The Painesville, Ohio native, Declan Conway, looking for his 3rd goal of the game. Will take this one center ice, skates in, and took too long, and Conway is upset with himself there. Took far too long to get it off the end of the stick, and I think so much of this is a mental game. They just are beating themselves before they take the shot there.
That's similar to the move Declan tried in the last shootout, that hesitation, but he just couldn't get the shot off on time. Well played by Mullen to block off the angle.
Here comes Peter Panachik, the Czech Republic, skates over the left circle, winds up and puts it right corner. Brandt tumbles. He was too slow to pick that one up, and he is taking his time getting up. I don't think injured, but more so that was a humbling one for him, and all of a sudden Thunderbirds up 2-zip.
Yeah, like I said, Icebreakers had to take those risks in overtime, and they didn't really do it. They spent most of the overtime in their own zone, and you're seeing this shootout's playing to the Carolinas' advantage.
Fowler, left circle, winds up, and he gets it in! And for the first time ever in franchise history, the Icebreakers have scored on a shootout, and that one would have probably been the final nail if he didn't get in. Now 2-1, but I believe, has there been a goalie change? Has Jordan Brent skated off?
I think Brant might be hurt, so Frankie McClendon.
Is that McClendon?
Mid-shootout gets inserted. What a way to get onto the ice.
No pressure.
Here. Yeah.
Big Mac back there needs to step it up against his former team. Martin, and McClendon makes a save. He forced him short side, so 2-1. Holy cow, Frankie McClendon thrown into the fire as Jordan Brent goes off injured. 2-1. Here comes Pastuca, former Carolina Thunderbird. Eyes it up at center. Makes his way very wide left now. Cuts in from the circle. Wind up. Easily deflected off the pads there of Mullen. What a day for Mullen as he had to step up here. 2-1. Carolina here can pretty much all but clinch it if they score. McClendon 1 for 1 in saves. He will have Andre Nitsch, the coach, suiting up here. Nitsch makes his way forward. Saved right in the breadbasket. Back out at you. McClendon says, not today, coach.
I'm sure those two are having a little bit of friendly banter. You know, Frankie McClendon having played under Andre Nitsch for so long, and all of a sudden he's facing his former coach in a shootout.
They need this one. Here comes Esri. 4 points on the week. Skates over. Left circle, fakes him out. And it's tipped back out. He almost juked out too many times there. He needed to get it right side. So Carolina can win it here if they score. If Menor and Big Mac back there can stop this one and he goes 3 for 3, they'll get one more crack at it.
I think Mullen thought that they had won that shootout with that save. They need one more goal or save to clinch it.
Osaka skates over, right circle, fakes out his man, and nice job by McClendon to fake him out wide! Oh, and Osaka had him, but McClendon made him take that extra step. So now, who's it gonna be? It's Stephen Fowler back out there for his second time. Fowler needs to make it to continue today. Fowler takes it center ice, crosses blue line, between the circles, fakes him out, back of the line, goal! Fowler is 2 for 2! Fowler does it, and we keep playing. Stephen Fowler already had a multi-point night, twice in the shootout. Catch our breath here. Krivolovic crosses blue line over the left circle, winds up. Big Mac's 4 for 4. Oh, he's earning that new nickname.
What a job by Frankie McClendon coming in the middle of the shootout, and he's 4 for 4 already.
Oh boy. Here comes Declan Conway, Painesville, Ohio native. Chance for redemption. Oh, and he goes just over the top of the net. A better look there from Conway. Whew.
If I'm Ian Duncan, I'm sending Stephen Fowler back out there the next attempt.
So it's 2-2. No time to catch our breath here. So now it's Konetsky taking his way over right circle. Jukes out his man. Oh, and he made McClendon with a great stance there. But Konetsky held on to the puck on the edge of his stick and was able to tap it into that right corner.
Yeah, that was impressive stuff there from Konetsky. That was not a move you see in the FPHL very often.
Stephen Fowler has to make it to keep it going. He scored twice. He's got between the circles, wide up, and the pad save made there by Mullen, and the Thunderbirds will hold on to win. Oh my. What a game. No reason to hang your head if you're Coach Duncan's squad tonight. A tremendous performance in the shootout. Stephen Fowler gets 2, Jared. Wow, and McClendon stepped at a big time high stick salute there. Hats off to the Thunderbirds on closing it out. But you had to that was their best shootout in franchise history for Menor.
Yeah, you almost feel like it's kind of an advantage, Frankie getting to face his former team. Guys he's faced in practice for a couple of seasons now, but with the injury to Jordan Brandt there mid-shootout, Icebreakers didn't really have much of a choice, but it's a great game from both sides, but definitely hard to swallow if you're an Icebreakers fan. And
good to see some sportsmanship showed by both sides, because bad blood or not, here in the season wrap up a tremendous game today. Pashtuka and Panicek, former teammates and Czech Republic's natives, will hug there at center ice, and wow. Jared, I thought Jake Mullen got thrown in as Polivka went down early first period, but McClendon had to step in mid-shootout, and he saved, 5 of 6 or 6 of 7?
And it was a great move by Konetsky. That's what it took to beat him. He was really on top of his game after sitting on the bench for 3 periods plus overtime plus 2 shooters.
So the Icebreakers will fall to 14-17, 0-3, but do pick up a point here, and they'll take each point they can. In the Eastern Division, 45th point. Carolina will improve to 25-3, 2-1, now over 500 in overtime as well. This was a fun one, though, Jared. I mean, it was a tough third period, but the Icebreakers held on to force overtime And that was a fun shootout. It started as every shootout has had, where it was nothing going, but Stephen Fowler stepped it up twice.
Yeah, I think overall in this game, if you're an Icebreakers fan, obviously you want to win, but there was some good things to build off of moving forward. Obviously, you got some tough series coming up, Port Huron, Columbus, Port Huron again, then you got Elmira, then Port Huron again. So, they've had troubles with that Prowlers team this season, but we'll see if they can build off anything they did here tonight. There's definitely some good things defensively.
Both teams a nice job with the shortened rosters, both due to injury and suspension. Several people stepping it up. Nitch and Curl joining the forward line for Carolina. And this is a 4-3 victory for the Thunderbirds. Final in the shootout. Thunderbirds pick up 2. Menor, a lot of guys stepped it up. Good first effort from Chance Taylor. A strong performance from Fowler and Declan Conway. Overall, though, it was just a bit too much miscommunication, and a team like the Thunderbirds capitalizing in the middle to the end of that game. So the Thunderbirds win. Icebreakers will take to the road and head to McMorran Arena. That game will be on the Prowlers Mixler page. How do you access that? Is that its own website?
Actually, they stream their own games on ebw.tv. Mixler's their away audio stream, but look at some of the final stats in this one. Carolina outshot Menor 40-33, and Jordan Brandt played really a heck of a game. He stopped 37 out of 40 in regulation and overtime before getting pulled in the shootout, obviously after that injury.
So the final here, Carolina Thunderbirds 4, Menor Icebreakers 3, in a tremendous game played here from Menor Ice Arena. We thank you for joining and being a part of it. We'll see you in a little while as the Icebreakers take to the road for a bit. Check MenorIcebreakers.com for all that information on the schedule. And until next time, we'll see you all later.